Hello and welcome. Carrie here from Homestead. How? Thank you everyone for joining me. I wanted to give some updates, talk carnivore diet, open for Q&As, talk about homesteading, the movie theater, all sorts of things. Whatever you guys want to talk about, I'm interested in talking about. We got some pretty exciting news to share as well. I guess a few things are I'm on day 117 of the carnivore diet. And today was my day 30 of doing strictly the lion diet, which has been amazing. I don't think I'm going back to carnivore. Carnivore was great. Lion diet, I just feel a little bit better on, and I eat less. I've been doing one meal a day. My weight has been coming down a little bit more consistently. I'm almost getting to the bottom of where I want to be. I weighed myself this morning, and this was pretty exciting as well. I'm just down to 172 pounds. And when I started, I was 222. So I'm exactly 50 pounds down from when I started carnivore diet. I think I mentioned before, I've lost some weight prior to this, on and off keto for years. So if I lose something like 10 more pounds, I will be down 100 pounds since my absolute heaviest. If I get down to 162, at my heaviest, it was very embarrassing. I was at a doctor's appointment. I hadn't weighed myself in a long time. I actually have my medical records from this. My heaviest, I was 262, and I'm 10 pounds shy of 162. So that's pretty cool. So I figured we would just chat here. We are playing Mission Impossible. The triplets had their birthday this week, 16 years old, and we had a big family get together and party today. So we've been going all day, having a blast. I got a lot of family upstairs watching the movie, and I got a couple hours. I'm not watching Mission Impossible every single night for 2 weeks that we have it. So I wanted to come down here and talk to all my carnivore friends. I really love talking to you all in this community. And please post some questions. Let's get some conversations going. And it can be a carnivore question. It can be a lion diet question. It can be a movie theater question, a homesteading question. I will talk about anything. Happy to do so. Update on Jen. Thank you, Karen. Karen, Susan, awesome. All these familiar faces. How is Jen doing? Her shorts have been good. Yeah, Jen is cool. I kind of wish I did the shorts. Jen is posting a short every day. Today was day 6, and she's upstairs right now. She might come down and join us, and she may have jumped down here and watching. We had a big rush at the theater. I told her, I was like, oh, let's do one of these together. Normally we can't both come down here, but we have a bunch of family and they're helping out with the concession. So maybe next time, and then I can advertise it. Jen and Carrie, husband and wife. On Tuesday will be my update video, which, geez, it's going to be like 124 days on carnivore, something like that. Every Tuesday, I do a carnivore video. Every Thursday at 4 p.m., we do a family vlog, movie theater, homestead fun video. Tuesday's carnivore. And on this Tuesday's video that's coming up, Jen's going to be in it. It's going to be Jen, myself. It's going to talk about our story, her doing carnivore, how she's doing, because she's going to be over a week by then. She's going to be at a week tomorrow. So she'll probably be at 10 days by then. So that's going to be awesome. But thank you, Karen. Jen is doing really well. She's struggling. It's not easy. It's not like you start carnivore and everything's perfect. She's really struggling with, she doesn't like steak, which I just can't imagine. She's got to get used to it. But she's still been doing it. She's been a trooper. She's been eating a lot more ground beef and patties and tons of eggs. But she said today, I made her a big steak and she ate some of it. She had some burger patties and she had some eggs. And she said, I'm not hungry. I'm not hungry right now. So she's like, I'm eating till I'm comfortably full. She isn't fatigued. She did have fatigue like day 3, day 4, a little bit here or there. But I can see it though. I can see it. If I never knew that Jen started carnivore diet 6 days ago, right around day 5 or so, I would have been able to say, what is going on? Something is drastically different with you, Jen. She's been nesting, like just going around the house, cleaning stuff. Her mood has just been drastically improved. Her sleep has been better. I had someone leave me a comment and they're like, stop with all this BS. You're just exaggerating stuff. I'm like, I'm not exaggerating anything. She's not having like huge life-changing things. It's only been 6 days. But I said this before, and this is the truth. Her snoring is like a third to maybe a quarter of what it was before. And she put up with me snoring and a CPAP machine and sleep apnea for years. But for the last year or so, especially when I was on carnivore, I would notice her snoring and it just bothered me. If you have a loved one who snores, I was under the impression that I snored because my neck was so fat, and that probably contributed to it. But the real reason, the root cause of snoring, in my opinion, is inflammation. And that can go away pretty quickly when you start eating the proper human diet and stop eating all of those things that cause inflammation. I was so happy when I keep finding myself with a big smile on my face. Usually before I eat a steak or just throughout the day, I'm like, "Oh, I'm smiling right now." And that's pretty awesome. It's never happened before. I was laying in bed smiling because I heard Jen sleeping. She was just snoring. It was just a tiny bit. And every day it's like a little bit less. It's going to be completely gone. When you snore, you're not getting that deep regenerative sleep. It affects your mood, hormones, it affects your immune system. Sleeping affects so many things. So I'm so happy for her that that's starting to improve. It's just a little change. As someone was like, "You're over exaggerating." I'm like, I just said she stopped snoring slightly. I'm not over exaggerating anything. She hasn't had any massive, huge life changes, but she's feeling good on day 6, going into day 7 tomorrow. And it's a lot of fun. We're going to get the whole family of carnivores. So lots of people jumping on right now. If you have a question, please put a big Q next to it. I will answer any questions I can. I'm not a doctor or nutritionist, but I have a lot of experience doing keto for like years and years and years and doing carnivore for 117 days now. And today is my 30th day on the Lion Diet. So if you want to talk about Lion Diet, I would love to. If you want to ask us about our historic movie theater, of which I'm sitting in the basement now, or you want to talk about homesteading, we don't really talk about homesteading much anymore. I still do a video every Thursday. It's got stuff about the homestead and the movie theater and the family on it every Thursday at 4. So Jen is doing great, though. Thank you, Karen. So I'm going to jump into some of these questions. I'm trying to think of what. Oh, I've got so many updates too. Well, I guess the other big update, I mentioned this on the last live stream, the Carnivore Diet documentary. It's so exciting. It is so exciting. That's my big update. Carnivore Diet documentary. I purchased the cinema grade camera that is required in order to get a documentary on Netflix. There's no guarantee we get on Netflix, but there's a guarantee we won't get on Netflix if we don't use a cinema grade, really expensive camera. And thank you so much to everyone who's left me super chats, who's donated to the GoFundMe at carnivoredietmovie.com, who's purchased t-shirts, or who's become members of my YouTube channel, which you can do right under. You click a thing, it's just a couple bucks. Every penny's gone towards this. So we can now start filming. The camera arrived yesterday. I opened it up this morning. I started using it and it's amazing. So actually here is my normal everyday camera. And this is a Sony A7 III. It's a very nice camera. I have a smaller lens on it now, but this is a very nice camera. It took me a long time to be able to afford a camera like this. I've done 600 videos on YouTube, probably 1,000 for Amazon products. I've done lots of video work. I have lenses and everything for this. The new camera that we got, this isn't good enough for Netflix. So we had to get a cinema grade camera. Well, luckily, this is a Sony camera. The cinema grade camera we got is also a Sony. It's larger than this, but it takes the same lenses, of which I own many that I've paid for over the years. It takes the same battery as well. And so a lot of the accessories and things like that I can reuse. So this is my everyday camera. The cinema camera is at home right now. I started fitting it out. I've got microphones and audio equipment and lighting, and I've got everything prepped. I've got a boom for audio. I've got backdrops. I've got everything to start filming the Carnivore Diet documentary. Well, we're not going to just jump out and start filming it right away, but there are some parts that we could film right now that I'm going to be working on, or some parts that I already have worked on. But the journey and following the real people. If anyone's new here, I'll say it really quickly. I'm doing Carnivore Diet movie. I'm putting together this documentary on the carnivore diet, following real people over the course of the year that are obese, diabetic, arthritis, aging, hormonal issues, stomach issues, to see how they fare on the carnivore diet and to share their examples and hopefully reach people that are hopeless, like I was when I had clinical depression and I was almost 100 pounds heavier than I am now. completely hopeless. We want to reach those people and we want to show them these examples and show them there's a way for them. And I think we can reach a lot more people on Netflix or Amazon Prime or HBO or one of these streaming services than we ever could just doing it on YouTube. And that's the plan and the goal. And we are on track. We're raising money. We got the cameras set up. I've got a bunch of people that are interested in participating, including Dr. Anthony Chafee, including Dr. Baker, who I talked to 3 days ago. And the other big news, the huge news I'm so excited about is Dr. Barry got back to me, and he reached out to me before the low carb cruise, and then he was gone for a long time, and the man is obviously very busy, so I wasn't pushing it, but he got back to me and we're scheduling a date. It looks like it's going to be in about 10 days, 10 or 11 days. I'm going to post the official date. We were debating between two dates, and I'm waiting for them to get back to me on the date. Dr. Barry is going to be on our YouTube channel, and I can't wait because he was one of the most influential people, along with Dr. Chafee too. But I saw Dante from Frigno Freedom got fired up about the carnivore diet. And then I was like, this is still crazy, but I watched a whole bunch of Dr. Barry videos. And that's what ultimately convinced me to do carnivore diet. And so I want to thank him. We're going to do a live Q&A on our channel, and I want to put him on the spot and ask him if he's willing to participate in some way in the carnivore diet documentary, because that would be huge. So lots of good stuff going on. The one other big update, I guess two other big updates was this. I don't know if he's on here right now. I'm going to just keep talking about him. I keep showing his picture to everybody. I posted a video yesterday with Alex. Alex is from the UK, and the video is going crazy right now. If you guys haven't seen it, go check it out. Hopefully you can see this. This is kind of dumb showing it on here, but you see this guy here. This picture, I've shown to pay me 15 people today. The triplets birthday party, I keep going up to people and I'm like, hey, look at this guy. And so this is Alex before and after. And then I say to them, you see that after right there? How old do you think Alex is there in the after? And I swear not one person has said over 40. Almost everyone says 40, 40, 40. A couple of people said 38. Look at him. And then I tell them and they don't believe me and they call me a liar. That man is 65 years old. Okay, he's 64, but next month, in less than a month, he turns 65 years old. And he's just awesome. He's got a great spirit, very inspirational carnivore story. And I did an interview on my channel, posted that yesterday. It's just going crazy, really resonating with people. And I asked Alex, would you like to participate in the carnivore diet doc? Because a huge section is going to be about aging and how getting old doesn't mean you have to become immobile and arthritic and inflamed and sore and miserable. You get some of that getting old, but what most people are getting now getting old is from their diet, and it doesn't have to be that way. Alex is living proof of that, and Carnivore Ron is living proof of that, and so many other people I've talked to are living proof of that. So it's just amazing. I can't wait to talk to Alex and interview him more for the Carnivore Diet documentary. That's the beautiful thing with YouTube is it's like a rehearsal. I get to talk to Alex. I get to talk to Dante from Frigno Freedom, Sean from Intentional Carnivore, Amanda from Carnivorous Me. And I get to talk to these people, listen to their stories, see how inspiring they are, see how chemistry we have on camera, and if they're going to be a good fit for the documentary movie before we ever even start filming it. That's a huge advantage, and we're definitely using it. So I'm doing more interviews on the channel and finding people, hopefully more folks like Alex that we can have in the documentary. But if you want to participate and share your carnivore story in the documentary, you can do that, carnivoredietmovie.com. You can register. You can submit your YouTube channel or a video of what your story on carnivore. And if it's a compelling and interesting story, we will hopefully be able to show that in the Carnivore Diet movie. Of course, we can't show all of the stories, but we're hoping to show different stories, someone with diabetes, someone with arthritis, and so on. So that's exciting. The last announcement I have, I didn't realize I had this many announcements. Carnivores have lots of announcements, I guess. Tomorrow, Dr. Anthony Chafee and myself are doing another live stream. We posted a video less than a week ago. That one too, it's just been going crazy. And it was challenging Dr. Chafee's carnivore diet, where I tried to throw all of the arguments against carnivore, all the reasons carnivore is horrible and it's going to kill you and it's bad. I tried to throw all of those arguments at Dr. Chafee, things that scared me, that prevented me from wanting to start carnivore, that caused me to do just days and days and weeks of research trying to figure these things out. I posed those questions to Dr. Chafee. And in the last video, he expertly knocked every one of those out of the park with science and statistics and facts and common sense. And I said to him afterwards, I was like, you got to go buy a new mic. He's like, what are you talking about? I'm like, just mic drop, mic drop, mic drop. Everyone. He's like, next question. He was just such good. He's not showing off either. It's just such good information. And I really regret I didn't mention this. That video was not a live stream. That video, he had no preparation. I didn't show him any of those questions ahead of time. I prepared them myself. I loaded them, and then when you saw the question on the screen is when he saw them. He didn't get any preview of those, and he knocked every one of them out of the park. And he's just quoting stats and facts and numbers. It was amazing, and I learned so much. And so many people are commenting that they're like, "This is one of the best formats for Dr. Chafee. He's knocking these things out of the park. He's easing concerns that I had." And there's a lot of moments where he's speaking. You're just like, wow, that's true. I never thought of it that way. It makes more sense. And so we're doing a part 2 tomorrow, 9:30 Central Standard Time. I'm going to come back to the theater. I'm going to be right here. We're going to fire up a live stream on Dr. Chafee's channel and my channel at the same time. And I've got more questions for him. If you guys got any questions, and these aren't questions like, Dr. Chafee, should I eat electrolytes? No, if you have arguments against carnivore diet, like we just had a bunch of friends and family over, and people came up to me and they're like, oh, this is great. You lost a bunch of weight, but I want to see your LDL numbers. You're going to die. That's an argument against carnivore. Or they'd come up and say, carnivore is a fad diet and it's going to kill you. You should just eat in moderation. That's an argument against carnivore diet. If you guys can think of any other arguments like that, or reasons you didn't want to do carnivore, or you were scared of carnivore, please send them to me and I'll take a quick look, and hopefully I can add some of those to Dr. Chafee tomorrow. And we're also taking live ones as well. So I have a couple prepared that I posted this on the community tab. Whole bunch of people left some. So I kind of ordered them by rank. If like 7 people asked for this one, we're going to post that one first, but it's going to be open for a live Q&A as well. So that's tomorrow, 9:30 Central Standard Time. All right. I know I talk too much, so I'm going to get into some of these questions. If you have a question, post it with the Q. Don't be shy. Let's see what we got here. We already answered this one. Hey, Carrie, you're my hero. Something you said a couple of months ago struck a nerve, and I've been carnivore for 5 weeks doing great. Thanks. I love to hear it. Thank you, Paul. If I could be of help in any way for that, that's amazing. Very proud of Jen. Yeah, hopefully Jen comes down here. I'm very proud of her too, because I don't know, if I hated eating like squid or something and then I had to just eat squid, that would be bad. My argument to Jen though is like, you've never truly eaten lots of different types of steak. She's never had it. She's always just avoided it. She's had ground beef and patties, but she's doing something that's very hard for her. Obviously going carnivore is very hard for anybody, but someone that has a big aversion and they don't like meat. So PR Mike, how are you, my friend? My regular commenter, I appreciate you, sir. Do you have the ultimate weight goal, or just go where your body prefers you to be? Yeah, I got yelled at by people before, and I'm like, you guys got a good point, actually. So I was trying, I wasn't just like trying to show off and be like, oh, I lost 100, but if I get to 162, that's kind of where I should be based on all the charts and stuff you look at. However, I've been exercising a lot, and muscle is a lot easier to build on carnivore. I'm just eating meat all the time. And I mean, that's like what bodybuilders do. So I've been gaining muscle, which is heavier than fat. So it's a lot harder to lose the weight. I said before, I'm trying to get another like 10 pounds or so to get to 162. And a lot of people said, why are you doing that? You don't have any more fat to lose. But I actually do. I kind of hide it well, but I got some belly fat still. I don't know if it's 10 pounds worth. So I've kind of thrown the 10-pound thing out, but I'm going to keep going until the belly fat's gone. If that happens to bring me to 162, that'd be pretty cool. So I can just say I'm down exactly 100 since my heaviest. But yeah, kind of letting it go where my body prefers to be. Maybe we'll see where that's at. I'm pretty darn close now, and that feels amazing. Did you feel tired week 1 of carnivore? I did a little bit, not as bad as some other people. I've done keto on and off for years, so it's easier for me. If you ever feel tired, fatigued on carnivore, there's always a couple things I always say. Make sure you're getting enough electrolytes, make sure you're drinking enough water, and make sure you're getting enough fatty meats and you're eating enough. A lot of people mess up on those things. And they're like, I think I got enough, but usually electrolytes and water, especially when you're first starting that first week, Your body's going through a huge change, though. You're going from using sugar and carbs as your gasoline, as your fuel for your race car, which is your body, and you're switching that to burning fat as your fuel or energy. And it's kind of like going from using a junky garbage fuel, like you're putting some old rusty wet gas in your car, to putting some high octane gas in your vehicle. So, but it's a big change for your body, and a lot of water weight shifts around. You have lots of little changes during that time. So a lot of people are tired. Try getting a little bit more electrolytes and see how that goes. Thank you. Something about Samantha. Okay. Makio the cat. Hello from California. Do you use any sauces or dips? The only thing I use is maybe hot sauce or garlic sprinkles. I do not. I'm not judging you or shaming you for doing it though. On carnivore, I just do fine on meat only. I get questions like this all the time. Do you do sauces? Do you do dips? Do you do rubs? Do you do spices? Do you do ketchup? No, I don't do any of those things. Just meat only. I feel great. I was doing beef, butter, bacon, eggs, salmon every now and then, maybe a little bit of shrimp. I did that for 90 days. And for the last 30 days, it's just been beef and water and salt. I'm not bored of it. I'm thankful for every bite. I look forward to eating it. I feel amazing afterwards. I feel full. I eat one time a day, and for 23 hours, I am rambling and talking like this, and people telling me I need to shut up because I've got so much excess energy. I feel great. So I don't need sauces or garlic. I feel like when you fully become carnivore, I've said this before, you become the captain of your own ship and you're in control. And there's something really powerful about being 100% in control of your own body. For 42 years on this earth, I was never 100% in control of my body. It was always like, oh, what are we going to eat? Got to get more sugar. It's like a nicotine addiction. You'd have a little bit of sugar in the morning because breakfast is the most important meal of the day, which is a bunch of garbage. And then you'd be hungry 2 hours later. Why? Because you're addicted to sugar. Just like if you smoked a cigarette in the morning, 2 hours later, you want another one and another one. Sugar is more addictive than nicotine. And so overcoming sugar, I don't have cravings anymore. And so I don't see a need for hot sauce or garlic or anything like that. It's kind of like I've switched from getting pleasure out of eating. Everyone eats for pleasure. It's like birthday parties, everything that stuff today, everyone's eating. That's all. Every get together, it's like for pleasure. But now for me, it's for sustenance. I just eat steak because it's my fuel. And, it's like when I go to the gas station, I put gas in the car. It's not like, oh, this is so much fun. I'm putting gas in the car. No, I'm putting fuel in the engine. That's all it is. It's delicious fuel, though. I still do love eating steak, but I've drastically switched my mindset from eating for pleasure to just eating as fuel only. And I really, really like it this way better. Oh, lots of these testimonials. I appreciate these guys. These are always so touching. I had one yesterday, brought a tear to my eye. Someone that was inspired by my 30-day carnivore video, and they've just completely changed their lives. Because of you, Carrie, I am 43 days on carnivore. Congratulations. I'm just wondering, can my liver be damaged or STH? I don't think so. Of course, I'm not a doctor or a nutritionist. I think we're eating the proper human diet. I think we're eating the way that humans have eaten since the start of time. And I think just like a deer only eats whatever a deer eats, if you fed a deer a bunch of ketchup and sugar and garbage, it would end up sick and sickly. And I don't think there's any issue with the liver. And I think Dr. Chafee, Dr. Barry, they probably got some good videos on that could explore that more and more expertise than I could. I haven't really dug into that one too much, but I don't think it's an issue. It's not something I've worried about after doing a lot of research on this diet. Gene Dudley, hey, beef is expensive now. Can I eat chicken, turkey, and fish? Absolutely. Beef is fattier cut of meat, and when you're in ketosis, you got to have a high fat ratio. So if you're going to eat chicken, turkey, and fish, you still got to get a lot of fat. It's hard to do that with chicken, turkey, and fish. Some fish are kind of fatty, but that's why I go with beef. But hey, ground beef is not that expensive when you look at it and you look at the calories you get out of it and how filling it is. I get way more full eating beef than I would ever get eating turkey or fish or chicken. I don't eat those things, but I get it. Things are expensive. So You can eat eggs too. Eggs are inexpensive. Ground beef's inexpensive, uh, relatively speaking, at least. So you can eat those things on carnivore diet. You can eat any animal products. You can have fish, salmon, turkey, whatever you want. But you got to get enough fat. That's going to be the tricky part for you. So I eat mostly steak. I feel so much better doing it. Susan Hampton, always a great commenter. Appreciate you. Jen is doing so awesome. I'm so proud and happy to see her doing this. I am too. It's amazing. It's just, I have a smile on my face every day. I am so blessed and so thankful. Adam Nichols, I've said this a million times in life, but I feel like I need to post to inspire newbies. Down 121 pounds in 10 months, less than a year. 20 years of bad back gone. Shot 74 today. Couldn't play golf for the last 10 years. Good for you, Adam. Wow. 121 pounds. So, Adam, if you're interested in sharing more of your story, shoot me an email, buddy. Homesteadhow@gmail.com. That's amazing. I'm taking stories. People are messaging me. I want to share more stories like I did. My friend Alex from Liverpool, that video yesterday, so inspiring. I want to inspire people. It's my mission in life now is to share this carnivore diet with people, people's life-changing results, help people that are hopeless. There's no better way than sharing these examples. So thank you, Adam, for inspiring others and sharing your example. And congratulations, 121 pounds in less than a year is amazing. I know what you're saying with the bad back, 20 years. Same with me. Horrible back issues, elbow issues, the arthritis in my foot, all gone. Last year, I wanted to go golfing so bad. My foot was killing me. I was wincing when I'd step down. Been golfing this year as well. Haven't shot a 74 yet, but definitely enjoyed getting out there. That's so cool. Thank you, Adam. Wow, lots of good comments. Did carnivore March to June 23rd. My blood pressure went from 128 to 82, 104 to 71. My weight went from 241 to 186. Started lying in July. My goal weight is 170. I am 52 and 5'6". Congratulations, Mac. That is awesome. I love hearing these. You guys got more inspirational stories, post them, leave comments on my channel. I read all of those. And like I said, if anyone's interested, if you've got, it's got to be inspirational. You got a good story. You've had good success on carnivore. It's inspirational. Email me, homesteadhow@gmail.com, and maybe we can have you on YouTube and do an interview and share your story and inspire some people. Alex's story, Alex from the Liverpool, is inspiring so many people. Those comments are amazing. I told Alex, you just wait, buddy. You're gonna get addicted to this carnivore thing because there's nothing better in life than being able to, even in a small way, help put an example out there that someone else takes and then they go and change their whole life in such a drastic way. I mean, Alex at 65, he has a whole other life ahead of him now. Whereas if he didn't do this or find carnivore, he was sore, he was depressed, he had aches and pains and issues, and he was overweight and 65 years old, and it starts to affect your mobility and all aspects of your life. Now he has the mind and body of someone younger than me. It's amazing. He has his whole life back now because of carnivore. It's just so inspirational. There we go. Praying it up. Love that name. Day 9 of carnivore. My sleep is terrible. Eating only beef, butter, bacon, eggs, water, red mint, salt, and water. Thanks so much for encouragement for the community. I'm sorry to hear that. Most people I hear the opposite. Make sure, check your electrolytes. You didn't mention electrolytes. That's always my go-to. One other thing that's really helped me with sleep is magnesium. Dr. Berry and I think Dr. Chafee, they did some really good videos on how most people are deficient in magnesium. And I've been taking that before bed. Jen has too. It seems to really help with sleep. Oh, what else could it be? You eating enough food? You getting enough food? Some people have issues too because their energy changes. I have so much more energy. My sleep schedule has changed. I keep getting up earlier and earlier. I sleep great though. So you said your sleep is terrible. So I would check magnesium and electrolytes and see how it goes from there. Doreen has a question. East Texas. Are you familiar with oxalates, oxalate overload, and the dangers associated with it? I am. I understand it slightly. I have never had those issues, nor has my daughter Emma, who was a vegan for 5 years and went carnivore. I don't know if you're just asking me in general, But if you want more information on that, I will always answer questions here if I can. I'm not an expert on that, but Dr. Chafee, I think he did a really good video on oxalates. So I always reference the videos because man, these guys have research documents, science studies, and they're all in a like compact 10-minute video. That can explain it way better than I could in a comment or here. Let's see, got some more questions. Oh, Karen said too. Yeah, always check the comments too, because we've got some really good people here commenting. And if I can't answer questions, sometimes they can. How's your stress level? That's a good one to ask. Oh, here we go. R. Kenton. Question. Carrie, please explain inflammation and the symptoms in the body. Thanks. So for me, I lived with inflammation for so long I didn't know what it was. I think most humans on walking around just in the general public are hugely inflamed. A lot of them don't even know it. One of the big signs I've learned this for inflammation is your gums. If you have bloody gums, if you have toothaches and tooth problems, if your teeth are always sore, and that's been an amazing thing on carnivore. My teeth feel so much better on carnivore. That's a sign of inflammation. And if you have inflammation in your gums, you have it in the rest of your body. The other sign of inflammation is you can just usually see it in people's faces. A lot of times their face will get red, puffy. That's an external sign too. Sometimes you can see it in people's fingers, like their fingers are all fat and they look just bigger than they should be, or they're wearing their wedding ring. My wedding ring fell off at the water park because I lost weight, so got to get another. I never found the wedding ring either, by the way. But before this, especially when I was inflamed, I would have times where that wedding ring hurt. The finger was just puffing around it as my fingers were inflamed. My face was inflamed. Usually gets red and puffy and things like that. And the thing with inflammation is sugar causes it, seed oils cause it, probably a lot of other things that cause it as well. Inflammation can really mess up your body on so many levels. Because if you're seeing those external things like the gums and the face and the hands and the puffiness and all that, imagine what's happening inside your body. And a lot of times, like with sugar, that can end up damaging your blood vessels. I've heard Dr. Phil Bavadia talk about this. Check him out. He's done some good videos on it. But a lot of times sugar will damage your blood vessels. Cholesterol will come along and try to repair it. And then you'll eat more sugar and it'll damage it again. Cholesterol will come along again and try to repair it again. Well, now people were looking at cholesterol back in the day and they're like, or they were looking at the blood vessels. So this person had a heart attack. Oh, it must be the cholesterol. Look at all the cholesterol here. And then the sugar got the whole pass. But from what I've heard some of these good doctors talk about is it's the inflammation, it's the sugar causing the damage to those vessels. Cholesterol is coming, trying to put a band-aid on and fix it, and it's getting all the blame. Those were some of the symptoms. Oh, the other symptoms I had too is, I guess I don't know if this was exactly inflammation or arthritis or a combination of both, but I just had this pain in my elbows, joint pain, and pain in my lower back. And maybe that was inflammation, arthritis, or a combination of the two. I'm not sure, but lower back pain was one for me, elbow pain, and then the pain I had in my foot was arthritis. And on carnivore diet, all of those things go away and no inflammation. Gums feel better, face feels better, fingers aren't puffy, hands aren't puffy, stomach feels better. I don't know if the inflammation causes the brain fog that I had too. I'm not a doctor, I don't know, but I had horrible brain fog before carnivore and I'm thinking so much clearer afterwards. So I always say to people, you deserve to live a life, at least one day in your life without any inflammation whatsoever. It's amazing. Question, Julian. Is one meal a day good on carnivore, or should I be eating more frequently? I feel good on one meal a day, not hungry, and eat probably 2 pounds of meat. You are killing it, Julian. Keep up what you're doing. I would suggest. I do one meal a day on carnivore. I feel great. Listen to your body. The greatest thing on carnivore is you can hear your body better. I've noticed it with eating. How much do I eat? I've noticed it with salt intake as well. It's just like my body's like, dude, just keep more salt. Okay, that's better. That's better. Listen to your body. A lot of the good doctors, carnivore doctors, Barry, Dr. Chafee, they've said, eat till you're comfortably full. That's the best advice. And it says here, you feel good on one meal a day. You're not hungry. Keep doing what you're doing. It's great for you. There's so much science and studies on intermittent fasting. So you're eating one meal a day. That's what I'm doing. I eat around noon or one. I'll have about 1.5 pounds, maybe 2 pounds of meat. Usually a ribeye if I'm lucky. Sometimes I'll have some ground beef patties and a little steak. That's it. 23 hours of the day I'm not eating. I'm not hungry at all. People find this insane, but I'm not eating sugar, so I don't have those sugar crashes and cravings. And so I eat that one time for 23 hours. My body is fasting. My body's going into autophagy. I have a lot of loose skin. It's going down now here, but right here is going down. I have a lot on my stomach though. A lot of people ask that. What do you do with the loose skin? Well, doing what you're doing, Julian, and fasting, you get autophagy and your cells regenerate. And it takes a long time. It definitely doesn't happen overnight, but you keep doing that for a very long time. And that's going to help with excess skin as well. Helps regenerate your cells. It helps with aging. It helps. Intermittent fasting is amazing. So keep it up. You're doing awesome. Charger Mopar. Thank you, my friend. I hope you're feeling better. I saw your earlier comment. Question: if you have to use a cinema grade camera for your documentary, does that mean you cannot use video that your subjects made themselves? Great question. Thank you. I never covered that. You've always got great questions, sir. I appreciate it. No. So Netflix has all these requirements, but when you're doing a documentary or something true to life, it doesn't have to be 100% cinema grade, but the majority of it has to be. But they make exceptions. And in the case of this, that would definitely be an exception. And furthermore, my goal with this, which is in the perfect world, I'm going to put together the best carnivore diet documentary we can. It's my mission in life. I'm going to put, if a job's worth doing, it's worth doing well. I'm putting everything I have into this, my money, my time, my resources, everything I can do to do the best job possible. The ultimate goal is for a lot of these folks, hopefully they can provide their YouTube channel as an example, and we can use some of that footage, but I want to go out and visit these folks. So we have a couple already. For example, as you all know, my friend Sean from Intentional Carnivore, that man's story is insane. Dante from Frigno Freedom is another one. Dante from Frigno Freedom has an amazing story. A lot of it's already done on YouTube, but it's documented already over the course of a year. We want to follow other people over the course of the year. Don't get me wrong, but we already have a couple stories that are hugely inspirational and could really motivate people, and they're well documented. And in those cases, we can use that footage, but I would also plan, if they're willing, of course, to visit those folks, either take a plane or drive in my car. I might have to do a road trip. I was talking to Emma about this the other day. I'm like, Emma, you got to come help me with this. This is a serious thing. It's not a one-man show either. And if we were to hire, this is the other reason, Charger Mopar, if I was the other option going into this, that was a strong consideration, was you hire a crew, you rent a crew. They come with their own cameras, their lighting equipment, everything. That would be so cost prohibitive and so expensive that literally for the cost of doing that for just maybe 2 days or something, I could have bought the camera and then do it myself for the whole time. But of course, doing it myself is going to be a bigger challenge, but we're going to be able to get a lot more done. And so I hope to maybe do a road trip and say, okay, we got to go visit Sean from Intentional Carnivore, and we're going to visit him at his house, and we're going to interview him, and we're going to show some of those clips from YouTube, but then we're going to show the new stuff on the new cinema grade camera that I bring with me to Sean's house. And then we go to see Dante and we talk to him. We go to Amanda from Carnivorous Me and we talk to her, and we get high quality, excellent footage. And also on the way, which would be amazing, stop by Dr. Chafee, stop at his little homestead if he's willing to have us, go for a little walk on the homestead and throw some of these carnivore questions at him and have him. That's the goal. We'll have real people in the documentary, but then we have a real doctor like Dr. Barry or Dr. Chafee talking about, like, this is why this is happening. This is why this makes sense. These are your concerns, and these are the answers. So I have their expertise in it. So great question. The other thing is too, like, I have a drone. The drone shoots 4K. It's amazing, but it's not the spec of Netflix. But they'll still let me use that drone and drone footage. I just have to use the majority of it from the cinema grade camera. And when you guys see the cinema grade camera, I'm going to have it in an upcoming video. The base of the camera itself doesn't look much different than this. It's slightly larger. However, it's a legit cinema grade camera. I was just watching a YouTube video on it. They used like 10 of these and they filmed a whole very popular feature movie. But the base looks like this. Then the lens on this cinema grade camera is about this long. And then there's the thing on the end. There's the microphone. There's a monitor to see everything. There's a timestamp, time encoder with it as well. there's a cage that goes around it. So by the time it's all done, it's like this big. It's huge. It looks like a camera you'd see on a movie set, and it functions like a camera on a movie set. But I can break it down to almost this size, which is nice for traveling and putting it on a gimbal. The really cool thing is I'm doing a video. I'm going to show you guys all my equipment. I've been doing video stuff for years now, and I'm very fortunate and blessed. And it took me a long time to do this. People are like, "Oh, it must be nice," but I've slowly built up all my camera equipment. Bought this lens here. 2 years later, bought that lens. So I have lights, audio, gimbal stabilizers. I got everything to do this properly. So I'm looking forward to it. Thank you for the question. Michael, that is the question. Why would anyone not do carnivore? I've had some of those conversations this weekend. My brother-in-law in particular, I was trying to be careful. I'm like, I'm not pushing you. I'm not saying you should do carnivore, but I just want you to know the facts. I feel for my brother-in-law because he has a lot of the issues that most people end up going on carnivore or lion diet for. Autoimmune disorders. He has a skin issue. He showed me his arm. He's been complaining about this for a year. His skin is just a big patch of skin coming off his arm. And he has arthritis and inflammation. He's always aches and pains and fatigue and tired and brain fog. He was bragging like 2 years ago, and he still does it now. He wakes up in the middle of the night punching the air. And I'm like, none of this has to happen. I'm like, I guarantee you all of these things are from the food you're eating. The reason that you're so sore is inflammation. The reason you have the skin issues is something you're eating. And he has it in his head like I did and like Lily did and like so many people did that I hate. And I'm warning all of you. I'm warning all of you now. If you ever have a health issue and you go to the doctor and the doctor's just like, I don't know. It's just some inexplicable, unexplainable thing that your skin is falling off your arm. We don't know why that's happening. Here's a pill. Run. They don't know what they're talking about, and there's a reason, and it's their job. They should be getting to the reason. And in the majority of cases, that reason is very simple. It's nutrition, and it's the food they're eating or the food they're not eating. Why would anyone not do carnivore? I don't know. That should be a question in the Carnivore Diet documentary. I hope a lot more people decide to. G. Graham, love it. Carnivores don't snore. Very true. I'm going to we got to do more t-shirts. We have the Compassionate Carnivore t-shirts. Those have been great. And I was just saying that someone said make a license plate, but I'm like, that would be fun. Do more t-shirts. Carnivores don't get sunburned. Carnivores don't snore. Carnivores don't nap. Oh, there's a million more. It's getting so old in my house, and the more old it gets, the more funny it gets. I just say it all the time. One of the girls said the other day, I'm gonna go take a nap. Like, carnivores don't nap. What are you talking about? That's fun. Oh, we got cards by Barb. She became a YouTube member. Thank you, Barb, so much. That is huge. So if you guys aren't familiar, below all of my YouTube videos, there's a little join button, and you become an insider. And we send you updates on the Carnivore Diet documentary. When you leave comments, I answer those ones first. If you want to email me and reach out, you get priority. And because you're a member, you get all that stuff a lot earlier than other folks do. But more importantly, Barb and everyone else that's members and doing the super chats, you're helping the hopeless, because every penny from that, I'm not making a cent off of it, goes right towards the Carnivore Diet documentary. It's going to help people. It's going to help people. Carnivore for Life, thank you so much. Appreciate your super chat. Amazingly, UK, I'm watching your amazing videos. Thank you. Appreciate you. Carnivore Today, my friend, Carnivore Today. This documentary will be one of the single most impactful documentaries of the century. Countless people will be healed because of Carrie's vision. This Carnivore Today, I see the new logo. This is my friend Adam, who so kindly reached out to me a couple months back, 2 months back. Carrie, if I have to sweep the floors, I will do anything. I want to help you with this journey on carnivore. He's a carnivore himself. He just started a YouTube channel. Go check it out. Adam, you sent me a text today, and I'm so sorry I haven't watched that yet. The triplets had their birthday party today, and I've been running around, and then we rushed over here to the movie theater, but I'm going to watch that shortly. Adam started his own YouTube channel. It's called Carnivore Today. From what he's been telling me, it sounds like it's going to be awesome. So I'm going to be checking it out, maybe doing some more stuff with Adam, but check out Carnivore Today on YouTube. And thank you so much, Adam, for all of your help and the super chat. Really appreciate it. Can't wait to meet you someday in person and geek out on cameras. Adam from Carnivore Today is a photographer, a very good photographer. Carnivore Kurt, how are you? We were chatting on email a little bit before. Oh, what Carnivore Kurt? You're a couple weeks in, right? Carnivore Kurt and I were talking about maybe getting together on his 30 day. He says, I've really found that cheese isn't working in my plan. Yes. Cut the cheese, Carnivore Kurt. Cut the cheese. Well, don't cut the cheese. You know what I mean? I've said this before, but when I did keto, I always stalled out on cheese. And so when I did carnivore, I'm like, oh, some people do cheese. I never did cheese, and that's one of the big comments I get. I'm stalling on carnivore. What do I do? I was losing so much weight. I always just say cheese question mark. And almost every single time they're like, yeah, I'm eating a lot of cheese. And then like 20 people will comment and say, stop eating cheese. I stalled out on cheese too. A lot of people, my friend, stall out on cheese on carnivore. Try without it. I always ate too much cheese. That was my problem too. Like, oh, this is low carb. I'm doing keto right now. I can have some cheese. And then I'd end up overeating it. And you'd stall out and you'd have other issues too. It'd give me, I don't know, give me other issues as well. The LDL thing was my biggest recent brainwashing by mainstream media. Absolutely. That was mine too. We're going to cover that a little bit tomorrow with Dr. Chafee at 9:30 Central on that live stream. Carnivore for life. Hi, Carrie, late in the UK, but checking in. Wait, is this is my friend, Alex. How are you? Alex, I don't know, you didn't see earlier, but I was showing your picture on screen so everyone saw it. Carnivore for Life is Alex. We did the video together. It's going absolutely insane. Alex is 65 years old, but he looks like he's 40. Alex, the triplets had their birthday party today. We had 40 people over at the house. I grilled some steaks. I grilled some burgers, and about 40 people were there. And Alex, no joke, about 40 people I went up to and I was like, hey, look at this picture of my friend Alex. Guess how old he is? And every single person's like 40, 38, 40. Nobody guessed over 40. It's so funny. I'm like, watch the video. It's so inspiring. So if you guys haven't seen that video, check it out, and check out Alex's YouTube channel, Carnivore for Life. Alex, I linked to your video from our video. And I had a couple people that were confused. They're like, how do I get it? I'm like, and I triple checked. Your link is in that video. But if you search for Carnivore for Life, just a heads up, Alex, I think there's a couple different variations of that name. So people were getting confused, but I have that link below the video, Alex, and I did. You just click on it. It'll take you directly to the proper channel for Alex. I encourage everyone to do that. Alex is an inspiration, just fun to talk to too. And I can't wait to talk to Alex some more regarding Carnivore Diet documentary. What a story. Reversing aging. Amazing. Question, do you think you could take your movie to independent movie festivals, maybe Sundance? Yes, I do, and I hope to. And we're really a long ways away from that, but I definitely hope to. And then one of the other things I'm really excited for, some people asked about this, but some people don't know, is we own the small town movie theater I'm in right now, Montello Theater. And that's going to be the premiere, the world premiere. It's going to be right upstairs, and everyone is invited to come. That's going to be awesome, playing it on the big screen. Oh, here we go. Yeah, Carnivore Kurt. I think I answered that one already. Thank you, sir. Avoid the cheese. Horsepower Junkie. Do you have a dedicated home theater? No, I really don't. I did at our old house. This one I don't. I mean, we got a decent sized TV, but I don't have the surround sound setup or anything. And I don't think I ever will now, because we're so fortunate. I'm so blessed. I'm pinching myself that we own a movie theater. But whenever a really cool movie comes out or something I want to watch, we will come here and watch it on the big screen. That was one of the most amazing memories I have with my family and the girls. The day we took over the theater, we came here, we put the keys in the door, and we walked in by ourselves for the first time. I put Star Wars on the big screen. I've never watched Star Wars on the big screen, and it was amazing. The sound, everything, incredible. And the girls Alyssa wanted to play Fortnite, so we hooked the PlayStation up and we played some video games on the big screen. But no home theater now, but I had one before. But hey, anyone ever wants to talk movies, I would love to. Johnny Might is day 31. Thanks for the inspiration. You are welcome, and thank you for your nice comment, and congratulations, 31 days. I love hearing 31 days too, by the way, because most people that start carnivore, myself included, my wife Jen, who's on day 6, they say, I'm going to just do this for 30 days. That's it. And then I'm done. And then you know what happens to everyone? Probably what happened to you, my friend Johnny Midas. You get to day 30 and you're like, my life is a million times better. I'm sleeping all night. I have no appetite. I feel amazing. My mood's great. Why am I going to stop this on day 30 now? And then they keep going to day 31, just like Johnny Midas did, just like myself did. Oh, Alex said he changed his handle from Alex Cannon to Carnivore for Life 65. Awesome. Good to know. So if you're searching, check that out. Carnivore for Life 65 on YouTube, or just watch our video that we did together. And in the description, you can click right on the link. It'll take you right over there. Another tip from Carnivore Kurt. Yes, even if you get lean cuts, just add butter or bacon. Great tip. Really, it is, because I would eat ribeye at first because I knew I had to get that fat content. But every now and then I'm like, I just want a strip steak. It's less expensive, or some sirloin or something. Add some butter. You dip the sirloin in butter. There is nothing better in the world. Wow, we're getting a lot of good questions here. 224 people. Thank you guys so much. Please leave a thumbs up if you could, a comment, share. Have you tried water fasting? Yes, I have. I did a 3-day water fast and a 5-day water fast prior to ever starting carnivore. I was starting to feel really good, and some of my health issues that carnivore cured were starting to feel a little bit better on day 5. But of course, I couldn't go any longer than 5 days, and I had to start eating again. I will say this, on carnivore, I feel like I was feeling fasting on day 5. You start feeling pretty good on day 5 when you get over that hump. And it's like, man, I wish I could feel like this all the time. On carnivore, I feel like that all the time. I've heard a lot of other people say that carnivore is almost kind of like fasting. It's the same feeling you'll get. Gene Dudley said, I will bite the bullet and buy a few steaks and ground beef. I will try this and hopefully get better. Was told I'm asthmatic. Hopefully we'll get better and get some energy. I'm doing this. Thanks. Thank you, Gene. Please do it right. Go right now. Do your research. Watch Dr. Ken Berry, Dr. Anthony Chafee. They have videos on starting carnivore diet, carnivore 101 mistakes to avoid. It's not just getting meat and eating it. Got to get electrolytes, got to get water, got to get the right fat. Lots of important details to set yourself up for success. And it's not just steaks and ground beef. Well, it could be if you're doing lion, but if you're doing carnivore, you could also have beef, butter, bacon, eggs, and a lot of those things help too. Kimberly Lane, Kira, your face is noticeably thinner since you went lion. Yeah, thank you. Look, I don't know if I can do it now. So I did this video, what was that? Last Tuesday or Thursday. And I got up at 4 or 4:30 in the morning. I'm waking up earlier on the lion diet. And see, I still got these little bags under my eyes. In my 30-day update, I said, these used to be way worse. But in the morning, I did this video at 4 o'clock in the morning. I didn't eat anything since 1 o'clock I still had energy. I didn't drink anything either. I rolled out of bed and I went outside immediately. So I had these bags again, and I noticed the bags come back when I'm not drinking enough water. And that oftentimes that's what I look like in the morning. So I did that video first thing in the morning. So people were like, are you okay? You got those bags under your eyes. But they were also saying your face is skinnier. And one thing I noticed in the video rewatching it, I didn't see when I was editing it, is I can't even do it now, but right here, my face looked like this the whole part of that morning video. So I think my face is getting skinnier. The inflammation's going down, but I actually have extra skin on my head, like where it's wrinkling up. So hopefully that'll tighten up. Extra skin is the least of my concerns. I get that question a lot. My friend Sean from Intentional Carnivore does too. What about the people that haven't even started carnivore yet that are worried about loose skin? I'm like, dude, if you're worried about loose skin, you need to be worried about the thing that's causing the loose skin. The loose skin, after you lose all the weight and you feel a million times better, is going to be the least of your worries. It's the least of my worries. I get it. It's something to worry about, but I'm doing 1 meal a day. I'm fasting, so things will tighten up. But sorry, Kimberly, I'm going off on a tangent here. Thank you for the compliment. I've had other people say that to me as well. And today was crazy with the triplets birthday party. We had 40 people over, and so many people. It feels great. It's nice. But so many people are like, oh my goodness, you lost so much weight. You look so different. Wow, what is going on? So I actually had a couple of really meaningful conversations with folks about carnivore today. Again, I'm not pushing anyone. I'm trying to be careful. But if you ask me about carnivore, you better be prepared. So I think I was getting on my brother-in-law's nerves a little bit talking about it, but I think he's thinking about it a little bit more. Like, opened his eyes to some things. And then someone else I talked to too, he was basically like ready to start it. He was really excited about it. So I told him, don't just start it, my friend. Do your research. It's all out there for free. This stuff changed my life completely. So sorry, I just heard the door. No, I'm good. That was nephew David, who's been an awesome help here. Got a bunch of family over. He's been running the soda machine. Wow, we got more super chats. Oh my goodness. Thank you guys so much. Robert Rupee, $4.99 super sticker. Thank you. Bottom of the screen, Carnivore Diet movie. Every penny of that, my friend, goes to that. You are helping other people. Thank you so much. Carnivore Today, new member. Thank you so much. Bobby SJ, new member. Awesome. Thank you so much. Make sure on the community tab, we'll be posting stuff there. Emma's birthday party was today. Her birthday, like it's turned into their whole week. It's a huge birthday. They're triplets. They're 16 years old. We try to give them all separate days and everything. So it's been a hectic week, but Emma's going to be back on. I think she said she wanted to do a video tomorrow. A lot of people have been asking about Emma. She's doing great. She's got some updates and some things to share with you guys tomorrow. So that's going to be exciting. Brett Atwood, just a little money for the documentary. August 3rd will be my carniversary, down 90 pounds, reverse type 2 diabetes, and I've given my kids their dad back. Awesome. Sir, thank you so much. Sincerely, thank you so much. $20 going towards the Carnivore Diet documentary. I really appreciate it. Every little bit helps, and that's very generous of you, but I'm so happy for you that you're coming up on your 1-year anniversary. Wow, just 2-3 weeks away, and you're going to be there. Down 90 pounds, reverse type 2 diabetes. I just love reading these comments. It's really touching, your last part there. You've given your kids their dad back. That is very meaningful to me, sir, because I feel like the same has happened for me. I've mentioned it before, get choked up talking about it, but when I was at my lowest time with the worst depression of my entire life, it wasn't like I was just having this depression for like a day or two. It was years. And my children and family suffered as a result. I wasn't there. So I've given my kids their dad back as well. Thankfully, I still have some time with them because they grow up so quickly. Again, all of the reasons, my friend Brett Atwood, I want to do this Carnivore Diet documentary, because my goodness, if I knew about this 20 years ago, if I could have had the girls, had the triplets and Lily, my 4 kids, if I could have had them and been a carnivore the whole time, where I'm 100%, no brain fog, no depression, no anxiety, no, I'm too tired, I got to go take a nap, no sleeping until 10 o'clock in the morning, and my whole life is going by so quickly because I'm always sleeping. What an amazing life. So no regrets. I'm making the most of everything I have right now. What can I do? I can help other people so that who are hopeless like I was years ago, we can help them now. They're out there right now. You know they're out there right now. I know they're out there right now. And they probably never even heard of carnivore. And maybe they're not even on YouTube. But we're going to reach them. And it's my mission in life. We're going to reach them. We're reaching so many people now. Over 1 million views on the Carnivore Diet movies on Homestead How in the last 28 days. It blows my mind. And it's amazing because it's so many inspirational comments that people were reaching and helping, getting this word out. And it's the community talking to each other and supporting each other and helping each other. Congratulations, Brett. I am so happy for you. That's awesome. And I'm happy for your kids as well. And yeah, appreciate it. Thank you. That's one other thing. I got to hold myself together here. I don't know. The emotions are more real on carnivore. I found myself a couple times crying. I was kind of not rehearsing, but I was just thinking, man, I'm going to be talking to Dr. Ken Berry. This man has saved so many people's lives. And I don't know if I would have started carnivore without Dr. Ken Berry. And nothing, Dr. Anthony Chaffee's amazing as well. I just happened to come about Dr. Baker's amazing, Dr. Fung. There's so many good doctors out there. I know I talk about Dr. Berry a lot, but his were the first videos I found and they resonated with me. And I just stuck with those and I watched another and I clicked another and I clicked another and I watched so many of his videos. But without Dr. Berry, I would not have been convinced to start carnivore. I was thinking about what I'm going to be talking to him about, thanking him, sincerely thanking him, because without good doctors like Dr. Berry and Dr. Chaffee and Dr. Baker and all these guys, where would we be? Like, doing lion diet or carnivore diet goes against everything we've ever been told our entire lives. It's extremely scary. And there's only a few people getting the truth out there, and everything else is just misinformation and studies sponsored by sugar companies telling you to eat breakfast and sugar all the time. And I was thinking about talking to Dr. Barry, and I started tearing up a little bit thinking about how much gratitude I have for him. So anyways, I can't wait to talk to him, and I'm probably going to be blubbering and crying during the beginning of it, but so be it. That man deserves so much more credit. Dr. Chafee deserves so much more credit. Could you imagine if Dr. Barry had a little counter next to him that would represent how many lives he's saved? Just on the type 2 diabetes video, you just read some of the comments on his video. Dr. Barry, you saved my life. Dr. Barry, you saved my life. Dr. Barry, you reversed my type 2 diabetes. That man deserves so much more credit. A doctor's supposed to save people's lives. I'm trying to think, like, who saved more lives than Dr. Barry? And then I was thinking, well, one person is like a heart surgeon, the heart surgeon that performed surgery on Lily when she was 13. I have so much respect for that man. Unbelievable. Could you imagine? He's saving lives through heart surgery, but he can only save a few. The man can only do so many surgeries. Maybe he does. Lily's surgery was 8 hours. Maybe he does one surgery a day, and then the next day he's talking to patients, and then maybe over the course of a week he does 2 or 3 surgeries. Probably less than that. I don't even know what it is. It's amazing. He's saving so many lives as a heart surgeon. God bless him. I'm so thankful for him. But now think about Dr. Barry with his message and with his words and with his scale of the internet, how many people he can reach and how many people he has reached with 2.2 million subscribers and all the views he's had on his channel. That man is saving. You can't count it. You can't put a number on it, but there is a number on how many people he saved, how many people are elderly in their 60s, 70s, and 80s who have a life back now that were just miserable and they were riding around on a mobility scooter. I'm going off on another tangent, guys. I'm sorry, but I get worked up thinking about Dr. Barry and people changing their lives. Okay, I'll get back to the questions now. If you have a question, put it in queue. So ribeyes would be better than sirloin. Yes, from the fat content, fat ratio, ribeyes are a very fatty steak, and there's a good portion of fat versus meat. It's like the perfect power food. It's like one of the best things you could eat, in my opinion, other than organs, of course, in moderation. But I think liver, like beef liver, oh, you don't get any better than beef liver. But in terms of steaks and cuts of meats, ribeye is better because it's fattier. If you only went on carnivore and just ate sirloin every day, you wouldn't be getting enough fat. So if you supplement that sirloin, dip it in some butter or have some bacon on the side, that's going to help you. Have some eggs, the egg yolks, those got some good fat in them. Those are some things that'll really help you. Kimberly Lane just said this. Kimberly, I said the same thing. It took me a second to read that one. My metamorphosis. My metamorphosis, fabulous name. I agree. That's such a cool name because when you become a carnivore, that is a metamorphosis. You throw meat on the front there. I love it. Doreen Bailey, question. I watched Dr. Chafee's interview by Sally Norton yesterday from 7 or 8 months ago. Loved it and opened my eyes about carnivore and oxalates. Have you seen it? I have not seen that. I've seen a lot of Dr. Chafee's videos. I didn't see that one, but I mean to because several people lately have been saying you need to talk more about oxalates and learn more about oxalates. They've never been an issue for me. They weren't for Emma. They weren't for Lily, and they haven't been so far for Jen. But I want to learn some more about that. So yeah, I'll check it out. I've also Sally Norton. I want to watch some more of her stuff as well. Carnivore Kip, my friend. What's up, Carrie? What's up with you, sir? I hope you're doing well. Really been enjoying your YouTube videos. We had 40 people over today, Kip, for the triplets birthday party celebration. I was going to fire up the smoker, but I'm like, this is too much with 40 people coming in and out. So I used your favorite thing, Kip, the old propane grill. I know I should have done charcoal. Grilled up some brats. Hey, you will like this, Kip. I didn't eat any because I'm a lion and a carnivore, but we had burger patties. I had the burger patties and I had some steak for lunch. And Jen had burger patties and steak. But we had brats as well. Brats are famous in Wisconsin. If you're not from Wisconsin, we love our brats, our beer brats, whatever. But every year, if you guys want to watch this, I have it on my channel, Homestead How, every Thursday. Every year we have a brat party. Carnivore Kip, man, I wish you lived closer. You could come over to the brat party. So we have a brat party. I own this huge industrial size meat grinder. And so everybody comes over to the brat party. Some family I have here now, they come over every year and they'll bring pork and meat. And I supply all the spices. And then everyone goes to town and they make their own unique recipe of brats. So we had some spicy brats. We even had some like Italian spicy, some more sweet ones. Again, I'm not eating these on carnivore, so this was all years ago. Well, the last one we did was several months ago. It was before I started carnivore, and we got some chicken brats. My brother-in-law tried some chicken brats. Those are actually pretty good. Anyways, I had a bunch of those sitting in the freezer, so we cooked those up today on the propane grill. I know, Kip, I used the propane. Uh, but they were everyone enjoyed them. I didn't have any of the brats myself, but I had a delicious ribeye steak and sirloin. I got a ribeye, 2 sirloins, and some burger patties, and I split that with Jen, and it was amazing. Dr. Baker says the best sauce is hunger. Yeah, love it. Adam Nicholas, hey, Kip, smoking anything this weekend? Yeah, I'd like to know that too, Kip. Anything on the smoker this weekend? Kimberly Lane, I always appreciate your comments. Thank you so much. A regular Carrie, beef almost gives me too much energy. When I wake up in the morning, I just flop around in bed until I finally give up and get up. Isn't it crazy, Kimberly? It's so weird. It feels like a caffeine rush or something. I've said that to a couple people. I know I eat it and I'm like, what project can we work on now? Let's go build a woodshed. Let's go cut down some firewood. Let's do something. We got to go. We got this energy now. It's amazing. And your body, Kimberly, if it's like mine, is thanking you. I swear my body's like, dude, 42 years, you finally figured it out. More beef, meat, steak. I need more. All right. Oh, we got some more super chats. Oh, this is awesome. David and Melinda Delgado, thank you. I think you've left me super chats several times now. I really appreciate it. Just want to share that I get beef fat at my local meat market for $2 per pound. $2 per pound. It's a good way to add more fat to our meals. I usually have ribeye, an extra piece of fat, and feel great. That is an awesome tip, David. Thank you so much. Dr. Chafee was just saying that to me too. One thing I kind of messed up online, I don't know why, but I've been pretty good. I didn't mess up online. I've only been eating steak, but the fat content I've been slowly reducing down. Usually go with ribeyes, but I've been doing sirloin and I don't do butter on carnivore. So no butter on carnivore on lion. I'm sorry. Dr. Chafee was saying the same thing as David and Melinda Delgado just said. He's like, dude, get some beef fat. You can go to your meat market, get some beef fat, and then you cut it up in little pieces, put it in your air fryer is good, or on the cast iron skillet, put some salt on it. Dr. Chafee was telling me that. He's like, dude, my mouth is watering just talking about that right now. It's so good too. If you take a little bit of that fat, you just eat it plain if you can, but if that's too much for you, take a nice cut of your steak, mix a little bit of the fat in with the cut of the steak. And if you fry that fat up just a little bit, it's delicious. Thank you, Delgados. I really appreciate you. Oh, this is another huge one. Wow. $50, praying it up. Thank you so much. I don't know if you meant to type something. If you did, please do it again and I'll follow it. But amazing. Thank you so much. That's huge. That is really huge because I said this before and I'm not complaining. Please don't think I'm complaining. I'm taking a lot of money out of my own pocket. We just bought the cinema grade camera. A lot of my money went into that. We didn't have enough money raised from the GoFundMe, but all of these things, they're going a really long way. So I'm happy to do that. And it's just something like this $50, it's going to go a huge way. For example, like batteries for this thing with the little charger, that's like $50. So you just bought me more batteries. I need more batteries in order to film all this stuff. I'm going to get out in the field filming Dr. Baker or Dr. Barry or someone, and then my battery dies. There's so many little accessories and things we need. The biggest expense going forward for the Carnivore Diet documentary is going to be the travel. I'm going to have to travel all over the place. And again, I'm donating my time to do that. I'm going to donate my vehicle, my gas money. I'm not going to be able to get all the work done I was doing because I'm going to be on the road. This is my mission in life. I'm happy to do it, but I just want people to know I'm invested, I guess is what I'm saying while I'm rambling here. I hate asking people for money. I said this the other day. I'm not asking you for this money for me. I'm not taking a penny of it. All of this money is going to help other people that are going to someday see our Carnivore Diet documentary, see these examples and getting inspired and change their life. So thank you so much. That's very generous of you. I appreciate it. Homesick Buckeye, I talked to you the other day. How are you doing, my friend? If Kip smoked a pair of flip flops, I'd probably eat them. That is awesome. Yeah. Oh my goodness. I keep saying we got to do a meetup at Montello Theater, and then again in a perfect world, Kip, you live too far away. Yeah, we got to get you in here, do a road trip, have a meetup up there, and then in a perfect world, this is my vision. I look outside of the movie theater doors, and Carnivore Kip is standing there with his smoker, smoking up everybody a big delicious meal. Thank you so much for all of those super chats. I really appreciate it. So I'm going to get back in here to some of the questions. Oh, Andy says, "How was your head? Did you get concussed?" My head is good. Oh, my hair's a little messed up here. I did not get concussed. As I said in the video, carnivores don't concuss. We don't get concussions. It rang my bell for sure. If you guys don't know what I'm talking about, I put a short up the other day. I have this new exercise regimen, and I don't exercise to lose weight. I didn't lose a pound exercising. I lost all my weight through nutrition. Once I was better and healthy, I had energy, so I started exercising not too long ago. I do it every morning. I go outside, I do these pull-ups on our like gazebo thing that I built, and it's kind of dangerous because it's very high. The first time I did it, I jumped up. I mean, it's like 10 feet, and I could just barely get my fingertips on it. The first time I did it, I was like, it took me a second to register, like, wow, I'm really up here. And then I'll do pull-ups. Well, anyways, I did that the other day. It was like, it was wet. It was early. I didn't warm myself up. I don't know what happened, but I slipped off. The girls, by the way, my girls, the triplets and Lily, were absolutely cracking up. Because if you rewatch that video, it's on my channel. You can go watch it. It's a short. If you watch that video, as I noticed that my fingers are slipping, I start like twinkling my feet back and forth. Like that's going to help me get higher up or flyers. They're like, "What do you think you're going to fly, Dad? What are you kicking your feet for?" And part of me kicking my feet actually threw my balance off, and then it made me come down backwards. I felt my shoulders and my butt hit first, but then my head kind of whiplashed back, and it rang my bell. It hurt for a couple seconds, but that was many, many days ago. I didn't get a concussion. The most damage was from, as Carnivore Kip kind of said the other day, was from Jen. She wasn't very happy. She's like, you can't, you got to stop. So, big update. I'm not doing that anymore. I'm still going out there exercising. I was out there this morning. It was just beautiful out. I got my dog Baxter with me. Birds were chirping. Ray's been out there with me. But I use a chair now. I have a chair so I can stand on the chair, and if I fall, I'll fall right onto the chair. I won't fall. I'll fall like this, not like this. I'm very well though. Thank you. I concerned some people with that, but I'm like, hey, got to put all the honesty out there. I'm 42 years old too. I'm kind of getting gung ho, and I think the testosterone's up, and it's just like, let's go for it. Let's go on. It's like sometimes you got to slow down and be easy. I could have majorly injured myself for a long time, and I didn't have my phone on me either. And that's on the other side of our property. I was just saying, I was like, geez, imagine if I knocked myself out. I would have been laying there for a while because I oftentimes go out there for like an hour. They wouldn't have been looking for them. Like, that's just Dad wandering around the yard without his shoes on again. They're not going to come find me. Some more super chats. Oh man, thank you guys so much. $20 from Beverly Fitch. Thank you. I'm 66 years old. Last year I had COPD and asthma. I had medications and a rescue inhaler. I weighed 177 pounds. Today, no breathing medicines and down to 135 pounds. Awesome, Beverly. Amazing. 66 years old. That's not old anymore in this day and age, but my whole life, like I remember my grandparents when they were at age 66. My friend Alex Cannon from the UK, 65 years old. It's not old anymore, but in my head, when I'm just thinking, you're 66 and you've made these amazing things happen. It's just, I have so much, I have such a big heart for children and my elders. No disrespect saying that, right? 66 years old. That's my elders. I have so much such a big place in my heart for people like that. And if you're at 66 years old and you can completely change your life, because Beverly, this is the truth. Most 66 years old are having inflammation and arthritis and mobility issues, and most people are dreading becoming 66 years old, and you've turned that all around now. That's amazing. Down to 135 pounds. But more importantly, you can breathe now. Isn't it amazing? I just find it so amazing that I used to eat food, Beverly, that would cause me to gasp for air at night over and over again, hundreds of times throughout the night. I was on a CPAP machine. I did a sleep study and I woke up over and over again. Jen used to never get sleep next to me because she's like, I thought you were dying. You just stopped breathing. And it was just like, I would just sit there and she'd have to push, she'd have to hit me on the side and be like, breathe, you're going to die. Like, what are you doing? All from the improper food that I was eating. You fix those things. Awesome. Thank you so much, Beverly. Again, carnivoredietmovie.com. If you want to participate, visit the link below. If you can't donate, I totally get it. Money's tight for people. Please share it though. You can share it if you want to get the good word out about the Carnivore Diet movie. You want to help other people like Beverly, like Alex, like Sean from Intentional Carnivore, like me. Share it. Put that on your Facebook page. Share it to your groups if you're in carnivore groups. That all of that will help us reach more people. Bella Brett, for you, $10. Carnivores don't defy gravity. Just kidding. Yeah, I was thinking something like that too. That's awesome. Carnivores don't defy gravity. Yeah, if you guys have any carnivores don't, I want to do a whole video on everything carnivores don't. I really caused an uproar with carnivores don't get sunburned the other day. By the way, if you're new to the channel, that is the name of my podcast. We have a podcast now. People are like, where do you get all the time for this? The podcast wasn't a lot of work. I do interviews on YouTube and we have the audio, and it was like a matter of pushing a couple buttons to turn that audio into a podcast. But if you're in your car, I love podcasts. You go on a long car ride, you want to put a carnivore podcast on. Dr. Chafee has one. A lot of these guys have one. We have one now, and it's called Carnivores Don't Get Sunburned. I just thought that was an awesome name. It's an intriguing name. So anyways, I posted that up the other day and everyone was like, yes, they do get sunburned. No, they don't. And I think it was probably 50-50. I had a lot of people that are carnivores saying, I don't get sunburned. Ever since I started carnivore, I don't get sunburned. Then I had other people saying, that's not true. I still get sunburned. And I'm like, well, for me, I don't. I roofed here for the first time. My skin was pale white for 12, 14 hours with my Amish friend. He was fried the next day. I was like, how do you feel? He's like, I'm really sunburned. Nothing for me. Nothing for me. And before that, I would have been fried and crying. I'd be like, Jen, you got that aloe stuff? It hurts so bad. And then I've gone kayaking with my shirt off multiple times. I've gone in groups of people kayaking. The carnivores of the group don't get sunburned. The others do. So people that say it doesn't work, there's some people that say they do carnivore and then they do carnivore, but they're still having Diet Coke or they have fruit or they have this or that every now and then. And maybe that's what they're doing. I told my brother-in-law this, and he's like, oh my God, there's no way that you get sunburn. You have to. It's like, but then I'm like, think about it. People that eat the standard American diet with the seed oils and the sugar and the inflammation, what do a lot of them have? Skin disorders, including my brother-in-law making fun of me for saying carnivores don't get sunburn. His skin's peeling off the side. They got psoriasis. They have HS like my daughter Lily had. That's all from food they're eating. And maybe since pretty much everybody, 99% of the population eats all that garbage, maybe their skin is more susceptible to getting sunburned because of the foods they're eating or the oil that's in the foods or something like that. It's not that far-fetched because when they stop eating those foods, their skin conditions drastically change and they don't have the HS anymore, and the psoriasis and all the other skin issues tend to go away. So it's really not that far-fetched. I've had a couple people say that in the thing. They're like, this is such BS. Of course, if you're going to get in the sun, it's going to burn you. It's just science. I'm like, well, there's actually really dig into it some more. Not necessarily. Prepped for Eternity Homestead. Is there a carnivore diet variant that mixes some healthy veggies? No, there isn't. If you're doing carnivore diet, it's meat only. Some people will do it and still call it carnivore. At that point, you're doing strict keto, which there's nothing wrong with. A lot of people do really well on keto. Maybe that's for you. Maybe you can start on keto and then transition to carnivore. It wasn't for me and a lot of others. It's way, way, way better. If you're going to do strict keto with some healthy veg here and there, a lot of people find huge success with that. I found success with it. But not the level of success that I have on carnivore. I still had inflammation and joint issues. I still had depression and anxiety. Some of it helped a little bit on keto, but nothing like the extent of carnivore. But it's a good transition. I went keto, then carnivore, then lion. A lot of people take that journey. So TCAP recipe says, I took Adderall for 18 years, made me a zombie, hindered social life, but made it eat less. Yeah, there's so many of those drugs like that. That resonates with me too, feeling like a zombie. That's what I felt like when I was depressed. They put me on SSRIs, turned me into a zombie. It's like, well, I guess I'm not suicidally depressed anymore. So that's good. But I have no other feelings whatsoever, happy, sad, anything. I just feel like a zombie. And I did that forever. And they're like, up it, down it, give me more of those, give me more of that medicine, up the prescription, change it, give me another prescription. I did that for years and I never got better. Carnivore got me better within 30 days. Anxiety, depression, gone. Carnivore Kip. Q is short for barbecue where I come from. Yeah, I hear you. Someone said Alex was amazing. Yes, he is amazing. If you guys don't know what we're talking about, Alex, the 65-year-old who is defying aging, looks like he's 40, was on my channel yesterday. That video is going crazy. Love all the comments and encouragement for Alex. He deserves it. What an amazing job he's done, and he is inspiring so many people. Kimberly, I love this comment too. My muscles are getting bigger without even trying. I feel like I could run around the entire unit at work full sprint now. Likewise. I am trying because I'm exercising more, but it just seems like it's so much easier than it ever has been in 42 years on this earth. A little bit of exercise, get a lot more muscle than I ever did before. All right, gonna get some more of these questions. Lady D, question. I love these questions. You guys have some good questions today. Appreciate you all. Do you not find yourself eating standing up? I've been eating my 1 to 2 meals a day standing at the kitchen counter. Yeah, I have been. I don't know why. Why did you ask that too? That's weird. But I have been. My counter it's a little bit higher up. I've been copying Dr. Baker. We just got this beautiful. I mentioned the other day. I misspoke. I said maple. It's walnut. I should have known better. It's a dark wood. Got this beautiful walnut cutting board. I put that on my counter. I put my steak on it. I sprinkle Redmonds all over the cutting board so I could dip the steak in it. I cut it on the cutting board, and that's my plate. And I mostly do it standing up lately. I don't know why. I don't know, energy or what. I can get in there and really cut the steak better, get some more leverage on it. I don't know. Lady D, why do you think we do that? Does anyone else do that? But it's funny you say that. I didn't even really notice I've been doing it until you just mentioned it. Treasure Rescue, aka Queen Bean. Carrie, you and I had the same top weight. It's a number I will never forget. I have about 20, 30 more pounds to go. Congratulations. You come a long way from that weight. That is amazing. Good job. My friend, Adam, Carnivore Today. Is there anything more addicting and beneficial than the life-saving benefits of carnivore lifestyle? I don't think so. Very good point. I was saying to Sean, Intentional Carnivore, the other day, I'm like, I have no addictions now. No sugar, nothing. I don't care about food. And I was like, oh, wait a minute. I'm addicted to Carnivore Diet and telling people about it and spreading the good word. And that's fine. I'm happy with that addiction. Again, I don't push anybody, though. I don't say you should go do Carnivore Diet, but I'm like, here's all the examples. And if you decide that Carnivore Diet is not for you, then there's nothing else I have to say about it. Tracy says she eats standing up too. What is this phenomenon, guys, with eating standing up? I don't understand it. I do it too. I didn't even know why. All right, let's see. A couple more questions here. Anyone has anything they want to talk about homesteading related? We can talk about that too. I've had a couple of my homesteading fans that have been watching me for years now. They're like, enough with the carnivore already. And I've said this before. I'm going to say it again right now as I look for more questions. I'm still doing the same homesteading content I've done for 8 years. Nothing has changed. Every Thursday, 4 p.m. Central, is a homesteading video. It's got some of the homesteading in it. It's got vlog. It's got movie theater. It's got family fun. It's the same stuff I've been doing for years. The only difference now is I'm doing more. On Tuesdays, I do carnivore content. Every now and then I sprinkle in an interview about carnivore, but you're not getting any less of that homesteading stuff. And this is the other thing too. There's some homesteading people on here, so I appreciate it. But if you were watching my homestead channel and you really appreciated it and wanted it, I really wish I would have got more comments on there, because I do one carnivore video. It's the community's great. There's so many comments. And on some of those homesteading videos I'd do, I'd spend a week editing some of those videos. People don't know how hard work YouTube is, especially when you're editing and you got drone shots and you're really trying to do a good job and get all the audio in there and the background and all that. I'd sometimes do that. I get 2 comments. So it's like, now that I'm doing other stuff, now I'm getting more comments. It's like, why didn't you comment before if you want more of that? But hey, if you guys want more homesteading content, I'm always working on the homestead. We got a big firewood project coming up. So, but every Thursday, I'm still showing a little bit of that. If you want a lot of that, just tell me, leave me a comment. But anyone wants to talk about homesteading, shoot me a question on here. Carnivore Diet documentary, movie theater. I love talking about all those things. Kimberly was saying inflammation can cause brain fog. Makes sense. Dr. Peterson's gum disease went away when he went carnivore. Have you heard of anyone else that has benefit? Yes, me. I had, well, I guess, I don't know exactly. I didn't have gum disease, but my teeth health improved drastically. Inflammation went away. And it was to the point where it was noticeable. It was like, oh my goodness, my mouth feels so much better. It was always achy and sore. My gums were always bleeding all the time. All of that's gone. I've heard that from a lot of other people. And the reason behind it, per Dr. Anthony Chafee and some others, inflammation. You see it in your gums first. Inflammation. Hey, Carrie, do you track all the macros of what you're eating, know precisely what your nutritional intake is? And nope, none of it. Some people do. I eat till I'm comfortably full. I eat about 1.5 pounds of steak a day. Don't track it. I drink more water than I think I should, but I don't track any of it. That's one of the things I love with carnivore. I've yo-yo dieted for years. I did calories in, calories out, OMAD, the 1 meal a day. I had a fat tracker app where I put every single calorie of everything I ate in. That was always miserable. Never worked. So I don't see a point. As people have asked me that too. Do you check your ketone levels? I'm like, I don't. I don't know what I would do differently. I eat steak and I drink water and that's it. I feel amazing. So that's one of the benefits, I think, of carnivore. You don't really have to track much. Just eat till you're comfortably full. Go from there. All right, see if we have any more questions here. Question: what is the best smoker you recommend? Carnivore Kip, if you're still here, shoot. We talked about this a little bit in our live stream, and he said it really depends. If Carnivore Kip's still here, I'm sure he'll chime in, but it really depends. Check out Carnivore Kip's channel too. He is killing it over there. It depends on your budget and what you're trying to achieve. But there's some decent ones. So we use the pellet smoker. There's different types of smokers too. We have a Yoder, which I'm very blessed to have. It's a nice smoker. There's like Traeger ones and ones you can get from the stores. Of course, those are cheaper. Maybe they're not going to last as long, and they got some pros and cons to them. But I'm sure Kip will chime in here. Oh yeah, here we go. Depends on if you want the most convenient smoked or best flavor. Also, how much capacity you have. Yeah, and I guess price too would be another one. So check out Carnivore Kip's got some comments there on the smokers. Question: have you considered Sally K. Norton for the doc? One second. She's got the facts. Can you remind me what Sally K. Norton specializes in? So this right here is my carnivore diet plan. Going the wrong way. It's ever expanding, but I have the different sections of the documentary, and then next to each section is a doctor that I would like to speak to, that I would like to have in the documentary speaking about, like, for example, obesity or type 2 diabetes. What doctor really specializes in that? So I definitely would consider Sally K. Norton. The other one someone mentioned the other day, and I wrote it down, and Emma was cleaning down here and threw out my paper, I think. A good doctor for mental health. Can someone comment below? I should know this, but I don't. They mentioned it the other day, and it was one that I thought I was up to speed on everything. But Dr. Jordan Peterson would, of course, be amazing. But there was another carnivore doctor that's popular on YouTube that specializes in mental health, depression, anxiety stuff. If you guys could leave a comment with that, I want to add that to my board and follow up with that person as well. On carnivore, I almost never get sleepy. Do you ever have trouble going to sleep or sleeping over 5 to 6 hours? My sleep has been amazing. I don't have trouble. And here's great question, Kimberly. Here's 2 tips. I've mentioned this before, but I've been doing I think Andrew Huberman, some other guys have been talking about this. First thing in the morning, have your curtains open a little bit if you can, and let the sunshine wake you up. If you can, I know people work different schedules and things like that, but I'm fortunate to be able to do this, and I do it every morning. My curtains are open. When the sun comes through, it hits my eyes naturally. I don't turn my phone on. I don't turn any lights on in the hallway or anything like that. And it's supposed to reset your circadian rhythm. You get that sunshine on your body and your eyes. And then I go outside and I say, I do my little exercise thing. And then I come back in. When I've been doing that, I feel great. Never in my life have I gone to bed, put my head on the pillow and just fallen asleep. It's always been a struggle. until Carnivore, and then I guess doing this stuff more. The other thing is my friend Chad, who's the documentary filmmaker for the BBC, who came here and gave me some amazing advice on the Carnivore Diet documentary. He suggested these. These are blue light glasses. I'm so far behind on the times, but I know that like on your phone you have that blue light thing, and when you're looking at devices and electronics, it can mess up your sleep. It can mess up your melatonin, your circadian rhythm, things like that. So he was saying he's been using these and they've really helped him. I bought these on Amazon. They were pretty inexpensive. I haven't tried them yet. I just got these, so I'm going to try these. He said a couple hours before bed, he'll put these on, whether he's reading or whatever. They're not prescription. They're just, I see the same way as I do now, but it's got the blue light filter in. And he said there's science behind these that actually show how it affects your melatonin levels. And Chad's been saying that he was sleeping a lot better. So I'm like, I'm going to try those. So here we are. I'm going to try them. So I'll let you guys know how those work. Chris, in real life, I applied and have a YouTube channel where I document my stuff. I'm getting more comfy with being in front of the camera. I also take pictures and record my data. I'm OCD with that stuff. Awesome. Good job. Get that example out there. Don't be embarrassed. Don't be shy. Anyone that's going to find your channel is seeking information from you, and you can inspire them with your story. And if you have some ers or ums or some slip ups, or the editing or stuff's weird, they're going to overlook that. You're going to criticize it. You're going to overlook it. Just do the best job you possibly can. As you do more and more videos, it'll get easier and easier. Is Emma's 60 or 70 carnivore update coming? Yes, it is. So Emma said tomorrow we're doing a video together. So we're going to have a big update. I've got this little timer on my phone, and it's got all my dates in, like when I started carnivore and when I started lion. But I've been meaning to put Emma's in here because every time I have to sit there and do the math in my head and I forget. So I'm 117 carnivore, 30 lion diet, and Jen is 6 days on carnivore. I got to add Emma to this, but video coming soon. Tomorrow, Emma's like, we're filming it tomorrow. I'm like, let's go. Tomorrow's going to be a very busy day for me. I'm going to be rush out to the theater. Got my live stream with Dr. Anthony Chafee, which I'm so looking forward to, 9:30 Central Standard Time. Then we have all of our families still staying overnight. We're doing a fireworks show tonight after this. When I get home, my cousins brought some fireworks over. That's going to be amazing. It's going to be on Thursday's video. And so I'm going to be tired. I'm carnivore, so I don't get tired. And then in the morning, I'm doing the live stream here. And then tomorrow we have a private party. Live stream, go back home, eat my steak and lunch, come back here, and then we have a private party. They rented out the whole movie theater for a birthday party. So we're going to be doing that. Bunch of family over as well. So good stuff. I'm getting the work of 3 of my former self done as a carnivore. Green. In regards to the movie, how many people are you going to be working with you to film, do sound, lighting, etc.? I'm still working out those details. Here's my big goal is in some cases, it might just be myself, which I know is insane, but I can do it. I've done it 1,000 times on YouTube before, and I know I can do it to the professional quality that's required. Of course, it would be a million times easier if I could have someone helping me with the sound and filming. My plan is to bring one of my kids with, or Jen. It's hard for Jen to leave because she's got to manage the business and the homestead and the girls. But Emma, Lily has also shown interest in doing as well. The problem with Lily is she's awesome. She refuses to be on camera. And I was thinking, man, if Emma came with, she could help me film, help me do the sound. And she has a lot of experience. I know she's a kid. We've been YouTubing for 8 years. This kid knows how to operate a camera, and given the proper training and practice ahead of time, she'll be able to set things up and get things going. And like, Emma, go hit that button. Emma, go move this light, and be a gopher for me as well. So, but in an ideal world, I'm hoping that we can raise more funding, and I just want to do the best job possible to get someone to really help me with those things. So we will see. Luckily, I have a built-in army. I could have a couple of my children come in. Like I said, it sounds weird, but they all have a lot of video experience. All my girls can fly the drone, for example. They don't have their drone license yet, but I think Alyssa can fly the drone. They all know how to operate the cameras and how to change all the settings. My daughter Katie has filmed, I'd say 600, no joke, 600 videos for Amazon. Companies will send us products. In return, we have to do videos for them. And Katie's the main filmer and editor for that. So we've got those skills all around. So if I have to shoestring it, it'll be my kids. If we get enough funding, hopefully it'll be someone a little more professional that can streamline it. So we can just It's going to take really long if we're doing it with less people, but we'll see. In either case, it's going to get done and it's going to be good. And I'm so excited to share it with you guys. I have the first 4 minutes roughed out, edited together. I showed it to Emma the other day. I'm going to show it to Jen on Tuesday's update video. And I'm really nervous to show it to her because I think she's going to love it. It's a big part of her. When Lily was 13, she had open heart surgery. And when she was 15, at the start of COVID, she had blood clots. She nearly died in her house. She passed out in the bathroom. My wife called 911. Lily had to take a helicopter ride. Some of you had heard this story. Some of you are new. A lot of this was due to the medication she was giving that in retrospect she didn't need. And part of this, I'm not giving any spoilers away, but part of this is the hook into why nutrition is so important and a hook into carnivore diet. And part of that, we have the 911 call of Jen calling, just as you can imagine, the worst minutes of her life, as Lily was minutes away from dying. She had almost no oxygen saturation. Her pulse was down. She was on the ground. Her face was white. Her lips were purple. It's ingrained in my memory forever. And we were waiting for the ambulance to come. And so part of that is the hook. And Emma watched it already and she teared up a little bit. And she's like, wow, she's like, I want to watch more. And I said, you better be telling the truth. And you're not just giving me credit because I'm your dad or whatever. But we've got a really good hook, and it's due in large part to you guys and your ideas. And it's due in large part to my friend Chad, who's the documentary filmmaker, who sat here and he's like, you got to have a little bit of a personal angle, and your story and your hook is resonating with people, and you can film it and you can share your story versus trying to go out and get that part from somebody else. We can get the other parts from other people. We can get the real examples from people with diabetes and obesity and the mental issues and aging. We can get those from other people, but the hook in the first part, he's like, you got to make that personal, a personal story. And then you, Carrie, will have this journey where you're going to these different places and you're learning as you go. And it's more of like a journey story. So sorry, I'm going on another rant again, but I get fired up about this stuff. I can't wait to share that all with you guys. But we're still in the early stages, but it is coming along so well. All right, see if I hit a couple more of these questions. 260 people. Anyone want to participate and be on a carnivore diet documentary? Visit carnivoredietmovie.com. Kimberly said, carnivores can't get drunk. Yes, carnivores don't get drunk. I think my brother-in-law asked me that. Wait, if I did carnivore, I won't be able to drink anymore? No, that would be a good thing. I've had a couple of people ask that one too. All right, question. I heard you say you started using Element. What made you switch from the Keto Chow drops? Okay, full disclosure. I used Keto Chow drops in the beginning. They're great. I recommend them. I still recommend them. I got those off of Amazon. You drop a little in your water, you drink it. I never had keto flu. Emma didn't. They're all great. I had Element sent me a whole sample pack for free because I'm on YouTube and I've got some exposure. So and we didn't even run out, but this is one of my pet peeves in my house, and it's Emma. So you guys can yell at Emma. She's so good. She'll clean the house. But she moves all my stuff. And I'm like, I have my Keto Chow drops right here on the windowsill. I have my magnesium pills on the windowsill. And it's just like a thing. Every day for 100 days, I go and get it. Well, I went in there and it was all gone. And I had the Element there next to it. So I'm like, I'm going to try this. Well, the Element, they have some that have like a carb in it. And people are like, oh, get over it. It's only a carb. But I'm hardcore carnivore. I don't want a carb. I know there's a little bit in meat or butter or whatever, but there's the sweeteners in the Element, and they're the good sweeteners. So it's the good stuff. But then they have the raw version, and they sent me some of the raw version, which there's nothing in it but what you need, the electrolytes. I tried it. It was very good. And then Element reached out and they were willing to sponsor 2 of my videos. I did one of those videos last Tuesday, and I mentioned that you could see the little ad in there. And again, every single penny I'm getting from that, I don't get a penny of that work. I had to edit that video together, put it in the thing. That's all going towards the Carnivore Diet documentary. In fact, let me think. It paid for this lens. So the lens that I had on this camera is going on the cinema camera. It's a really good lens. But then I had no lens for this. So it paid for one of the lenses that's needed in order to do the documentary. This lens is going to be used as well. We need a couple lenses for different shots. And it paid for some of the batteries. And so, yeah, that's where the Element thing from. I think they're both great. it's like, it's not like a pleasure thing. It's like, is it giving you what you need? The magnesium, the sodium, the electrolytes you're missing, both of them do it perfectly. Element's kind of cool if you're willing to have some of the other flavors with a sweetener in it. They use the better sweetener. I'm not personally, but some people do. Emma and I experimented with that before. She made some popsicles with it. It was kind of a cool little experiment. This was a long time back, but that's the story with Element. So I think on Tuesday's video, they're sponsored by them as well. Every penny from that Carnivore Diet movie is going to go change the world. Prepped for Eternity Homestead. Just started learning about carnivore. I'm still a skeptic. Good homegrown veggies are bad for you. So some vegetables are okay for you. Here's the thing. You should watch the video. I'm not trying to just promote myself for Dr. Chafee, but I did a video with Dr. Chafee and he covered this expertly, way better than I could right here, about vegetables. Some vegetables are bad for you. Yes, believe it or not, I know it sounds crazy. Some vegetables have toxins in them as defense mechanisms because they don't want to be eaten in the wild. And over all the time that they've evolved to have these toxins in them. I used to eat a ton of Brussels sprouts and I felt horrible all the time. The other thing is you just don't need them. Dr. Chafee hasn't had vegetables in years. All he eats is beef, and he's one of the healthiest people you'll ever see. He's ripped, he's built, he hasn't been sick in years, and carnivores say the same thing. Nothing is more nutrient rich than meat. Some people have bad reactions to vegetables, and they'll do carnivore diet as an elimination diet. There's oxalates in some things. There's sometimes spinach can mess people up really bad. Broccoli can mess people up. Some people have allergies. Some people get skin issues, autoimmune disorders, leaky gut. There's so many things. So they'll do it as an elimination diet and they get rid of the veggies. They get rid of everything. And then they see how they feel. There's also carbs in vegetables, depending on which ones you eat. And when you're doing carnivore, your goal is to get into ketosis, which means your body burns your fat for fuel instead of sugar. And if you're having carby vegetables, that could kick you out of ketosis, which would eliminate sort of the whole deal. So are there some vegetables that are good for you? Sure. Do we need vegetables to survive, as Dr. Anthony Chafee put it? No. Do we need what's in meat to survive? Yes. We don't need anything from vegetables to survive. There's been lots of people over the course of history and currently that never eat any vegetables, and they're absolutely thriving. But please watch that video. Again, I'm not just trying to cross the road, but he answered that question so well. He's done a ton of research and lectures on vegetables. He did one called Vegetables Are Trying to Kill Us, which I know it sounds kind of clickbaity, but it's actually true. There's a lot of plants and things out there in the world that will kill you if you eat them, and it's defense mechanisms in those things. And a lot of them, people eat them and it's not like, well, it doesn't kill them, but it's like, oh, I'm inflamed, my elbow hurts, why do I feel like garbage, why do I have this brain fog? And it's the stuff they're eating and they don't realize it, but it's just a little bit. And then it becomes normal and it's a little bit more. And then they do it for months and years and decades. And then they're walking around like a zombie and they don't know why. Before doing carnivore, this is the last thing I'll say on it. I did ketogenic diet and I had a salad for lunch, a salad for dinner, lots of vegetables, some from our own garden. And for dinner, I would have some low carb, healthy vegetables like Brussels sprouts, asparagus, and I have a little bit of protein. So I was pretty much just eating vegetables and I was horrible. My elbows were arthritic. My back was inflamed. My foot, I could barely step down on. I was depressed, anxious, brain fog. I had all of these issues. And because people keep telling me, dude, you would have done the same thing if you just eliminated all that junk food. And I was like, I wasn't eating junk food before this. I was on the ketogenic diet for years. The last year I did it, I was super strict and I still had all of these issues. And I was pretty much just eating vegetables and a little bit of meat. G Graham said, "Oh, the irony, you're in the cheese state and you don't eat cheese." Yeah. Well, I've had my fair share over the years, so I can take off for a while. Robert with the super sticker, $4.99. Thank you so much. I appreciate it. Carnivore for life. Hey, Kerry Sr. Hey. Well, this is Kerry Jr., but I saw Kerry Sr. today. Oh, I get it. Kerry Sr. Alex is my brother from another mother across the pond, Liverpool, UK. Go check out his channel. It's check out the video we did together. I'm so happy we did that. It's awesome. No Carb Life. Hey, buddy, how's it going? We haven't talked in a while. I hope you're doing well. Yeah, you came up. You're past your 1 year now. Yeah, everyone check out No Carb Life too. I don't shout out people on here unless they've got really good channels and I support it. But Dave's got a great channel. Quit alcohol and sugar addiction at the same time and is thriving. It's got a really cool YouTube channel. Lots of great content. Susan Hampton question, which magnesium is best for carnivores? I can't afford Keto Chow or Element. I wake up with a muscle cramp in my calf or leg this morning. I wonder if you could just get magnesium pills for that. Anyone else have any suggestions for Susan? I'm not sure. I've been stuck on those two, Keto Chow and Element. But I also take magnesium pills, and maybe that would do it for you. And I think those are probably less expensive. I know I got a big container of them. It's just lasted me forever. It seems like it's going to last me a year or something. Carnivore Kurt said, Alex is a freaking stud. Love you, Carnivore for life. Yes, he is. It's amazing. And your energy, Alex, is awesome. It's infectious. I thought I was the most, I get so enthusiastic and inspired about Carnivore, but Alex took it up to another notch for sure. Yeah. So if you guys got any, I'm falling behind again here. If you guys got any questions, post them in a queue on the side. We can talk about movie theater. We can talk about carnivore diet, talk about homesteading. Bobby J, new member. Thank you. Thank you so much. Appreciate it. That really helps because it's like an ongoing thing and really, really cool. Yeah, I think I'm going to do something for the members too, where we do an early release version before everyone else sees the carnivore diet doc. The members are going to get to see it first. I think that's a fair thing to do. Still a long way out, of course. We're in the beginning stages, but it's also too like if you're a member and you have any questions or anything, you can shoot me an email. But if you leave a comment, I have it set so it puts it right up at the top, and I will see your comment and I will address it first because I really appreciate everyone doing the membership. It's helping. We couldn't do this carnivore diet documentary. It's a crowdfunding thing. It's because of this amazing community. There's no way I could afford to do this all myself. It's a passion project. I'm putting a lot of my own money into it. If I had to put all of my own money into to finance the whole thing, it's very expensive to do a professional documentary that's going to get on one of these big streaming services. So really appreciate y'all. Here we go. Carrie or anyone on here, is it bad to eat a half of big bag of pork rinds along with my BBB and E? It depends on the pork rinds. In most cases, no, but make sure you're getting the healthy ones. I know Walmart has some pretty cruddy ones. You got to really be a good food detective and see what's in there. If you look at the ingredients and there's a bunch of stuff you can't understand what it is, then it's not great for you. But I will say this, even with that, it's probably 100 times better than the standard American diet. But if you can, look on the bag, find some pork rinds that are cleaner, that don't have a bunch of junk in them. But other than that, it's fine. Yeah, those are good. That's a good. A lot of people go that route. I never got into the pork rinds myself, but it's perfectly fine. Spirit Junkie. So what is your biggest difference from keto? What is the parameters you're using for line? You guys are nailing these questions tonight. I appreciate this. I don't know. Some of the live streams before, it's like, get these same questions over and over again, but these are some good ones. Biggest difference from keto. Like I said, so when I was doing keto, I felt really good, way better than doing the standard American diet, but I was still having, I should say relative to my before, which was horribly depressed and anxious and all those things. On keto, some of my anxiety and depression subsided slightly, but never went away completely. I still had sleep issues. I still had sleep apnea doing keto. I did sleep tests, and I was using the CPAP machine on keto. And my biggest thing was my pain in my lower back. My anxiety was still pretty bad, and the pain in my foot was still really bad. And I was doing pretty strict keto, like I just mentioned earlier. Although every now and then I'd slip up with some of those keto snacks, and those always seem to cause problems for me. My other thing on keto is I stalled out, and no matter what, I couldn't get out of that stall. That was when I did one of those fasts, the 3-day water fast, because I'm like, I got to break the stall. It's just been like weeks. My weight loss is stuck. I don't feel like I'm making any progress on keto. I'm eating clean. I'm eating pretty darn good. And so I did like a water fast for a couple of days, and I still could not. My body was like, no, you're not going anywhere. You're stuck at this weight forever. The biggest difference for me on carnivore is the weight has just consistently come off. I haven't had any of those stalls. I know some people stall. It's usually when they're eating cheese or something, but I haven't had any of those stalls. That's been one of the biggest differences. Well, everything else is different too. I feel a million times better on carnivore. But keto got me close. So I'm not knocking keto. I think keto is a great transition if you're not ready to jump right into carnivore. My sleep is way better on carnivore. The inflammation's gone 100%. So if you haven't seen my 30-day update video, I've done a couple other ones too, but that one really explained it well. Anxiety, depression gone, sleep gone. The pain in my lower back, pain in the elbows is gone. My foot pain that was going to require surgery completely fixed. No issues whatsoever. That took a little while longer. That was still hurting into even like day 60, 70. Well past day 100, I have no pain in my foot. It's completely like reversed, which is amazing. They were going to cut my toe open and do surgery. What is the parameters you're using for lion? Beef, salt, and water. That's it. I should say this though. Alyssa called me out the other day. I did cheat one day. I shouldn't say cheat. I still ate beef, salt, and water. I added a little bit butter. Shoot me. The reason for that was I want to be careful saying this because this is one of the big questions you always get. Don't you have problems with bowel movements? You don't have any fiber when you're doing carnivore diet. None of that's true. You don't need fiber. That's a big joke. I did carnivore diet for 90 days before starting Lion. I had no bowel movement problems. It was completely regular. I went less. And some people, when they go less, they're like, oh, I'm constipated. No, there was no discomfort or pain. You're going less because there's less waste in, less waste out. And when I started Lion, I knew that was going to be even more. I'm not eating bacon and eggs and a lot of the stuff I was eating before, some fish and things like that. So I think maybe it would be a little bit less, but I went for quite a few days without having the number two. And I asked Dr. Anthony Chafee, and he's like, what about, how's your fat doing? And I was like, yeah, you know what? I guess I'm getting less fat because before I'd have sirloin with butter and I'd have a lighter cut of steak and I put some more butter and I get a lot of fat that way. Online, I wasn't doing any butter. And so he said, well, I know you're trying to be strict online, but he's like, eat some fattier steaks like a ribeye, keep that in focus, which for some reason I kind of fell away from that for a little bit online. And he's like, just do a little bit of butter and see if you start getting regular again. I did exactly what he said. Just like that. I was regular again, back to normal. So, being perfectly honest, it hasn't been 100% strict line because I added butter in a couple times. But other than that, it's just beef, salt, and water. And that's it. Usually a ribeye because I'm trying to get enough fat without adding that butter back in. Oh, another good point. Yeah, Dr. Barry says can't have too many pork rinds as long as they aren't fried in seed oils. Look out for those seed oils too. Yeah, you really got to be a good food detective. Someone said, "Oh, nothing wrong with being emotional, Carrie. You have empathy. That's a great quality to have." Oh, thank you. Yeah, I've always been that way. I always, I can feel myself in someone else's shoes for sure. Oh, this is a good one. Carnivore Kurt. It's crazy how my refrigerator has had a facelift. No more condiments, just a ton of eggs, butter, bacon, like hot sauce. Yeah, gosh, our refrigerator before this was just overflowing with stuff. Emma cleaned it out the other day. I was looking at it. I was like, this is so nice and clean. You got some steaks over here. You got some things of ground beef over here. Got some eggs up here. Jen's been nailing on the eggs a lot lately. Karen said, we need these doctors as real life doctors, not enough of these doctors that get it and understand all this healing disease. Yeah, I know. Well, hopefully all of these YouTube videos everybody's doing and hopefully the carnivore diet documentary, we can help spread the word because that's one big thing on carnivore, the carnivore epiphany. Like, wow, we're living in a twilight zone. Everybody's addicted to sugar. We get kids hooked from a young age. Everybody's sick. I'm going to give you guys this little thing. This was crazy. I was thinking about this more. I was saying this to my brother-in-law. I was saying, we have some deer near our property. And it's beautiful seeing deer running by. And I was like, imagine you're driving your car by and you saw a whole big family of deer. And now you look closer at them and they're like, they have these big bags under their eyes and their hair's falling off. And then you looked at like their elbows, they got a big patch of hair missing. And you can just see it exposed. And then they got a big fat belly and it's like basically touching the ground. And they're all arthritic and you could just see they're barely able to walk. You'd be looking at that family of deers and you'd be like, my goodness, they're so sick. That's horrible. I feel so bad for those deer. You'd be like, you should probably put them out of their misery. They're dying. Meanwhile, walk into any Walmart or any grocery store, and almost the entire population looks like that. It is normal now. That's one of my big carnivore epiphanies. That's not normal, and it shouldn't be normal. And 20 years ago, you go in, you'd see one person overweight or one person on a little mobility scooter. Now you go in there, and everybody's like that. But it's just slowly happened over time, and we've just been indoctrinated this way. And you see all the media, and it just becomes kind of normal. But I don't know. Thinking about that deer analogy, it's like you'd be looking at a deer like that animal is deformed. What happened to it? They must have fed it a bunch of ketchup and sugar and garbage. But I'm not saying this to shame anyone because it was myself too. Like literally, my body before this, I was deforming my body from the foods I was eating. Um, my hair was not healthy. My stomach was just hanging over my belt. Big flaps under my arms. Like it literally, that's not the natural state of the human body. It's not natural by any means. And the fact that it's become normal is crazy. And you would think, when you think of it that way, you would think that more doctors would be starting to talk about this. Healthcare costs are just insane. And it's like, I wonder why, because all those things I went to the doctor for, anxiety, depression, sleep issues, acid reflux, IBS, all these things I went to, they're all health related, but not one doctor ever mentioned nutrition. They're all nutrition related. Not one doctor mentioned nutrition. They just give you pills. I took pills. They didn't fix my problems. So I went there to get fixed. They didn't fix me. I'm still sick. I go back home, wait another couple of weeks, get even sicker, and I go back in, and then they try to give you some other pills. They're not fixing the problem. Why is healthcare so expensive? Because they're putting a Band-Aid on the problem and they're not fixing the root cause of it. I'm confident, Karen. I'm hopeful that we will have more doctors that start to get this soon because it's just insane. It's just a never-ending circle then. You eat the crappy, horrible food, you get sick, you go to the doctor, they don't fix it, and then the circle continues over and over again. And these sugar companies make billions and billions of dollars. The healthcare companies make billions of dollars too, with everybody being sick, and nobody gets better. And we're all suffering at the expense of them making a huge profit. And it's insane. It's not fair. I don't like things that aren't fair. I don't like bullies, and that's why another reason I'm doing this carnivore diet movie. It's it's not fair, especially someone's 65, 70 years old, and they're at the end of their life, and they're literally in pain, suffering for what? Because they've been brainwashed that they have to have sugar and jelly and toast and garbage food, and they don't know what they're doing, and they don't know that that's causing it, and they've been doing it for so long it seems normal, and they're literally suffering so that these companies can make more money. Nancy on Facebook. We're streaming on Facebook too. This is inspiring to me. I'm 65 and 100 pounds overweight. I have hypothyroidism and was just told that they noticed a heart murmur. I have a heart murmur too. I've had one my whole life. I'm going to have an echocardiogram to see what the problem is. I'm afraid I get a lot of chest pains and shortness of breath. I am encouraged for these testimonials, considering going carnivore. Awesome, Nancy. I wish you the best. And please do this. Don't just jump on carnivore because you hear what we're talking about. Just do your own research. Here's one thing you can check with the heart issues that you're worried about. Dr. Phil Bovada, he wrote a book, Stay Off My Operating Table. He's a heart surgeon that's performed over 3,000 heart surgeries. He's a carnivore himself. He talks about carnivore diet, and he'll get into some of these things that maybe you have concerns of. Everyone that's thinking about starting carnivore diet, they don't because they're concerned about something. Rightfully so. And because we've been told the opposite our entire life. So you should be concerned. And how do you get over that concern? You do the research. And thankfully, the answers to your questions and that research is free and it's all out there. A lot of it's on YouTube. You just go look, Dr. Berry, Dr. Ovadia, Dr. Chafee, Dr. Berry, Dr. Baker. It's all out there for you. So I encourage you. He has a book as well, Stay Off My Operating Table. It's excellent. And a lot of these doctors do live streams. You could just go on for free. Dr. Chafee's doing them all the time now. You can go on and ask Dr. Chafee, neurosurgeon. Ask him any question you have. He posts it right on there and he'll answer it. Dr. Berry does one too every week. Dr. Berry's got a live stream going on. You can go right on his YouTube channel. I think it's Mondays at 7. You can post your question. But there's a lot of videos out there too. Like you said, you have hypothyroidism. Put that in YouTube. Hypothyroidism and carnivore diet, or hypothyroidism and nutrition, hypothyroidism and ketogenic diet. There's going to be videos out there and things that'll help you and that can help you get to the bottom of it. So you're not worried about starting anymore, and you have that proper information. It's all about finding the truth. You have to find the truth. And there's a lot of misinformation you'll have to wade through to get to the truth, unfortunately, because all of the studies and everything we're told, are biased because they're not making a study, Nancy. If you see a study, for example, that says it's going to clog your arteries if you eat meat, and then you dig into it and you find out, oh, those were sponsored by the cereal companies and sugar companies, because if we demonize meat, they're going to eat more sugar. Those studies are all biased. They don't do those studies unless there's billions of dollars to be made selling a pill at the end of it, or if it's to profit some company, and it's usually a sugar or cereal company. All right. Oh, wow. We got a lot on here. See if we have any other questions. Kimberly said, I will pay for all the meat for Kip to make. Yeah, me too. I'll buy the meat, you smoke it. There is an art to smoking meat. I've been tinkering around with it for a while, and I've had some pretty good results, but Kip knows his stuff for sure. It's so nice too. If you guys have ever had anybody smoke you up meat, it's different than anything you'll have experienced before. Because if you go to a restaurant and try to get something like that, what are the odds that you're going to go to the restaurant and they just smoked it up and pulled it off the smoker and fed it to you? No, they probably smoked it the day before, the morning of, or the night before, and then it sat somewhere, and then they warm it back up again. Having some fresh smoked meat, oh, it's so good. Dynamite asks, can you make a list of everything that's allowed on this diet, and are you picky about the water you drink? I'm very fortunate. I have very good water. I have well water. Can I make a list? Beef, butter, bacon, eggs is what most people do on Carnivore Diet. And I would suggest you watch the video. Dr. Berry, Dr. Chafee have Carnivore 101 videos that explain all of this in much more detail. You want to avoid anything that's going to have carbs in it. So veggies and fruits and things like that are not allowed, but it's pretty simple. Any animal products, beef, butter, bacon, eggs. You can have fish, you can have chicken, you can have turkey. Some people are a little bit more strict because they have autoimmune disorders. It depends on what reason you're starting for as well. If you're trying to get rid of arthritis or some skin issues, maybe you want to cut out more than that and just do lion diet, for example, and just eat beef and water and salt. Carol Jenny said, Carrie, I'm 66 and it is old when you have been tired of napping all your life. Yeah, I hear you. Karen says 66 here too, Carrie. We're making a statement. Yes. So happy to hear when people are taking control of their lives. Dynamite also asked, what is the improper food? Yeah, but it's basically anything that's not meat, anything that's got carbs in it. It's not the proper food. It's just meat, beef, butter, bacon, eggs, chicken, turkey, shrimp, steak. Yeah, please watch a video because I get worried when I get questions like this. Just having a quick answer from us isn't as good as you can watch a 15-minute video. It'll describe the whole thing for you. It's free. Go check out one of those videos from Dr. Berry, Dr. Baker, Dr. Chafee. Your enthusiasm, Carrie, helped me to stay with carnivore, and I have lost my appetite for wine. Oh, thank you. I appreciate that. I've been getting a lot of comments like that, and it really makes me want to keep doing more videos like this. So thank you. All right, we're getting to the bottom here. I got to wrap this up soon. Our movie's almost over. Wow, we've been going 2 hours, almost 300 people on here. Thank you so much. If you guys just jumped on, answering a couple more questions here. If you got a carnivore diet question, I got a couple more lion diet question, homestead question, movie question. Making huge progress on Carnivore Diet movie. The link is below, carnivoredietmovie.com. Check it out. If you can donate, we really need the help. This is community funded. We're going to change the world and change lives through the carnivore diet and sharing other people's examples. And we got the camera and we're going to start filming. It's very exciting, but we've got a long way to go. So oh, Alex, sorry, I'm falling way behind here. This was 8:36. Alex said I'm here. Thanks, Alex. Yeah. Alex, I shouted you out earlier. I showed your picture. I was showing everyone your picture today at the triplets birthday party. What an amazing transformation. I really enjoyed talking to you. Kenny said, 2 weeks into carnivore diet, already feeling so much better. Vision is already so much more clear. So many things are getting better. That's great to hear. I hadn't had any vision changes that I noticed, but I have heard other carnivores say that. Dr. Jordan Peterson said he used to have floaters in his eyes for years, and those went away. And again, that's the kind of thing it gets normal. You have a floater in your eye for 20 years. You're like, oh, that's just there. And then it goes away. It's like, wow, this is way better when it's gone now. DL said, I haven't had to turn on my AC yet this year. Is Carnivore making me less hot or is this global warming? I think it is making you less hot. I've had the same thing. I don't get as uncomfortable as I used to be. I used to be like, oh, turn the temperature up, change it, do this. I think it's because that fat we're losing is like a big blanket. And I used to get warmer. Like it was hot. I felt hotter. It's kind of like a dog with a big coat or something. I don't know. I, I I'm just making this stuff up as I go, but I've noticed that too. As I lost the weight, I do get colder easier than I did before. Jeff, we got a movie theater question. Love it. How do you get the movies that show in your theater? Well, we have a single screen theater, so we don't have too many options. There's usually there's a lot less movies coming out nowadays than there were historically over the years, so that makes it tricky. We only show family friendly movies here. Our tickets are just $5. It's kind of a passion project like the Carnivore Diet movie is. We're not making money. We're not here to make any money on the movie theater. In fact, we haven't taken a penny out of it. It's almost been a year now. We put it all back into the building. We just finished doing some brickwork. We put a new roof on. We put new carpet in, and so it's going really well. But we will. I'll ask the audience. I'll go on Facebook and our customers that follow us on Facebook. I'll say, what movies are you looking for? We get a lot of requests for people right now. The biggest one is The Sound of Freedom, which is an absolutely amazing movie that everybody needs to see. I've personally went to 2 different theaters and watched it twice now. They don't let us preview these movies, which is crazy. Like movie critics can preview movies, but as the owner of a movie theater, I'm not allowed to preview the movie beforehand. We have a really good movie booker. His name is Zach, and he's great, and he can preview the movies, and he gives me really good advice. He works with a lot of single screen movie theaters all over the country, so he'll give us some advice on what to play. But there's usually not a lot of choices. Right now, we're playing Mission Impossible. The previous owner, she would play more movies that maybe they came out 3 weeks ago because you'll make more money on it. When I play Mission Impossible, I got to give a much bigger chunk to the theaters, to the studios, I should say. And the other thing is they'll oftentimes make you play it for a lot longer. If you get a brand new movie like this, they might say you got to play it for 2 or 3 weeks. So that can be tough with just a single screen. After Mission Impossible ends on the 26th, we are playing Sound of Freedom here, which I'm so happy we were able to get. Just a movie. It's so sad, but it's a great movie. The story aside, it's about child trafficking. I tell it to people like, oh, I really want to see that. It's an important message everyone needs to see. Aside from the topic, though, the movie's fantastic. The acting, the directing, the pace, the cinematography. I've watched a lot of movies, and like this Indiana Jones movie that came out, the beginning, I watched the first half hour. It was great, but then it just dragged on, and they just kept going. I'm like, 2.5 hours. Come on. This movie, Sound of Freedom, has actually been beating out Indiana Jones in a lot of theaters. But standing alone without the message, it's a fantastic movie. Acting in it's just wonderful. Like, bring yourself a tissue because that main character, man, he is an excellent. Jim Caviezel, who is in The Passion of the Christ, he's absolutely excellent in this movie. Highly recommend this. Everyone needs to see it. They did a thing at the end where you could pay it forward. So I did that where you can pay it forward. And I'm telling people, if for some reason you really want to see this movie and you can't afford it, times are tough for some people. You can just come up to me or Jen, or you can email us or just talk to us privately, and we will cover your ticket costs. So we're doing that on July 26th, and I'm happy to do it. It's such an important message that we need to get out there to people. Kenny said, my gums stopped bleeding after only 2 weeks. Avocado. No, that's not an animal product. You cannot have an avocado. Some people will do fine on keto. Maybe you just want to do keto, but on carnivore, it's animal products only. A lot of people will do strict keto. You can have avocado. PL, another movie theater question. Love these. Do you show old classic movies in the theater? Love them. I love old classic movies. I love old movies. We have a couple. We have this woman. Her name's Loretta. She's been coming to the theater since she was 7 years old. She's 87 now. She's been coming here for 80 years. She looks really young. I wonder if she's a carnivore now that I think about it. She's really cool. And she was telling me when she was a little girl, she used to come here 80 years ago, and they played the old classic black and white Scrooge movie, the Christmas Carol movie. And so we pulled that one in. We were able to get that one for Christmas, which was really cool. And I do history tours on Saturdays. We do history tours. I had a group of 35 senior citizens come in. We charge $10 for the history tour, and then it's about a 35-minute tour. This building goes back to 1865, before Lincoln was president. There's so much history here. This looks new and modern, but most of the building, the outside, we have all these old pictures and amazing history. So for $10, they get a small popcorn, 35-minute tour, and then we show a short silent film classic that played here 100 years ago. The group that just came in, we showed them Buster Keaton Cops. It's a 18-minute short movie from 100 years ago that played in this theater. I love showing old movies, and we have our 1-year anniversary coming up in September. I can't believe it's been 1 year since we took over the theater. I'm so excited about that. We played Back to the Future 1, 2, and 3 for our grand reopening. The building was shut down from COVID with the previous owner for like 2 years. And we were able to get a DeLorean replica car out front. It was so much fun. And anyways, I'm trying to figure out what to play for our 1-year anniversary. If you guys have any suggestions, we were thinking about doing Batman 1, 2, and the Batman, the original Michael Keaton, and then the new ones. However, we can't get those. It's really hard trying to find something where there's 3 movies for the whole weekend, because we got to cover Friday, Saturday, and Sunday. Judy said, how do you donate? So if you go to carnivoredietmovie.com, there's a little link on the bottom. Let me see right here. I'll show you. And there's also a GoFundMe, but there's a link to the GoFundMe on carnivoredietmovie.com. It says, help make this project a reality. Maybe I should change that to donate. Let me click that once. Yeah, or if you just Google like GoFundMe Carnivore Diet documentary, you'll see it come up. I am currently copying this link. I wonder if I can push this here. I'll push this in here right here so you can see it. Okay, just 1 second, please. Create a banner. Boom, right there. So now if you look on the bottom of the screen, sorry, there it is. There's a GoFundMe. This is also linked to on carnivoredietmovie.com, but it's gofundme.com. If you just Google GoFundMe Carnivore Diet documentary, you should see that. You could also buy shirts or become a member. Those are the other ways. Chris, in real life, want to get chickens again. Do you recommend buying them food or letting them purely graze? My ex also fed them high quality grain fed dog food. Want to max their nutrition? That's a wonderful question. I got to get Jen in here because she's our chicken lady. She's very good. Everyone I know that seems to be like a professional farmer, like we let them free range. And if you observe the chickens in summertime, they're the busiest workers. They're eating insects and ticks and bugs all day long. They're getting enough nutrition. You can look at them and see if they're healthy too. So if it were me, Jen runs the show. She knows a lot more about chickens than I do. But and this is kind of what we do in summertime. They kind of free range. Every now and then she'll give them a little bit of feed. And then in wintertime, she gives them feed. And she gets some very particular stuff. I'll have to have her leave a comment. She gets stuff from Tractor Supply for the chicken. So in wintertime, we give them feed, but in summertime, we just let them go. We're fortunate. We have a lot of land here, and you just watch them all day long going through the yard, eating bugs and insects and stuff off the ground. Karen said, I noticed that in the beginning I was eating larger portions and now I just can't seem to eat as much. Is that normal? I think it is. I've noticed the same. I think a couple things happen. One, maybe your stomach shrinks a little bit. I don't know the science behind it, but it seems about right. If you're eating a lot less in general, because even if you're eating large portions of steak, you're probably eating a much less quantity of overall food compared to the standard American diet where you're having breakfast, lunch, dinner, and snacks, and popcorn, and junk food. So maybe that's part of it. And then the other thing to think about too is I was eating bigger portions. Well, actually, no, let me think about that. I think that might have something to do with the stomach. Anyone else have any ideas on that? I'm not sure. It's actually kind of the opposite for me, where I'm eating more now because I think I burnt through some of my fat. And when you don't have any fat to burn in ketosis, your body needs more fat. So it's been kind of the opposite for me, but maybe it's something to do with your stomach shrinking down a little bit because you're not eating all that stuff you were before. All right, I got to wrap this up. The movie's almost over above us. I can't believe it's 2 hours and 15 minutes. This has been great. I'm gonna go through the bottom here and see if I can. Got to get to the bottom. There's so many great comments here. Oh, we got another super chat. I missed this one. Include Bart K in your doc. Yes. Side note: you need orange blue blockers. Clear don't work. FYI. Really? So these ones are no good. I don't know. These were the ones that said they block blue light. They had really good reviews on Amazon. Chad, the documentary guy, was suggesting. Well, he didn't suggest this particularly. He just said the ones that block blue light. So I'll have to dig into that more. Thank you. Thank you so much for the super chat. That's awesome. And Bart K, yeah, he was on Sean's podcast. What a smart guy. That's going to be one of the problems. Is just there's so much stuff, and we don't want to make a 3 hour documentary because then people aren't going to want to watch it. Finding the best stuff and condensing it down is going to be a challenge, but we'll overcome. I'm so far behind here. Oh, here we go. Mary Thompson, did you have other things to eat at the party for your non-carnivore guests? Yes. Well, this was kind of a bring your own thing. So I provided all the meat. We did brats burgers. I did a couple steaks, and everyone brought food. So there was everything. And Jen provided some stuff too for other non-carnivore guests. Like one challenge for her today, which she didn't cheat at all. She did awesome. She had to cut up a big watermelon. She's like, oh, it just smells so good. I know that would have been a go-to for me back in the day too. So yeah, we had some fruit and other things, and people brought a bunch of stuff. There was a lot of non-carnivore stuff there, but I was very happy because I talked to so many people about carnivore, and a couple people are getting really excited about it. So, not pressuring anybody, just planting that seed, sharing the example. Question: do you take iodine? A little bit here and there because my friend Dante from Frigno Freedom suggested it on Lion Diet, and he was lacking it. So I do have some of those pills. I take them every now and then. Don't know if I need them. Haven't had that tested yet, but I am planning on doing my blood work soon and sharing that on YouTube with everybody. Maybe it's a live stream. Kimberly, thank you so much for that. I'm using carnivore to treat chronic candida. If you need anyone for the movie with a different diagnosis than the usual. Awesome. Yes, for sure. Yeah, that's going to be the big challenge with the documentary too, is getting so much great content, but there's not going to be room for everything. So people keep asking, well, what's going to go in? It's like, well, whatever's going to get the message and share the example and inspire people the most. Have you begun the movie process? Yes, absolutely. Wrote the whole outline for the movie. I've basically written each of the major sections with placeholders for what possibly like the conversations will go like with the real people that actually end up being in it. Of course, we don't know what that's going to be yet until we have those people. And I've already filmed and edited the first 4 minute hook, which sounds like, oh, 4 minutes. That took weeks and days. And there's animations in there and there's some flashbacks. I can't wait to share that with everybody. And then yeah, if you just jumped on, we purchased the cinema level camera that Netflix requires in order to start filming. I set up the whole camera this morning. I started putting all the settings in it and testing it out. So we are on track for sure on that with documentary filmmakers. And I guess the other thing too is I've totally started in the fact that a big part of the documentary is getting good people with their examples and stories in there. And that's what I'm doing on my YouTube channel. People are like, you're putting so much content up there. A lot of this is just test space for the documentary. I did an interview with Dante from Frigno Freedom, Sean from Intentional Carnivore, Amanda from Carnivorous Me, Alex from the Liverpool. All of those, it's not just because I want to put content on my YouTube channel, it's because those are people that could possibly be in the documentary and we're testing the waters. It's like a little bit of a rehearsal. And like all these guys were great. Alex's story was just like, man, this is perfect for the aging part of the documentary, but it's not going to just be one person. So maybe we'll have a couple of people talking about their experience with aging, and maybe Alex is one of them, and Carnivore Ron is another, and we get some other people too. Ferris Bueller, unfortunately, there's a lot of political movement to reduce and meeting eat around the world linked to the nonsense climate change movement. Do you plan to stay clear of that in your doc script? That's a great question. I am not sure at this point. I want to cover how I believe carnivore diet is the most compassionate way of eating. I eat one cow, I get hundreds of meals. The cow has a great life. Other people are supporting other ways of doing things that I think are not compassionate. I think they're horrible for the environment. They're monocropping and they're eating 25 different ingredients in their salad, and the pesticides are killing animals, destroying ecosystems, turning over soil. However, I want to stay focused on the carnivore documentary, and I don't want to badmouth people so much and just like stir up the pot. The purpose is to share the examples. So it's going to be a fine line. I don't know the answer to that question at this moment. I want to cover it to some degree cautiously. I don't want to detract from the point of the documentary, which is to inspire people and share examples. And if talking about these things will help with that, then we certainly will. All right, getting almost to the bottom. Or not. Every time I get to the bottom, it's like, nope, I'm way far behind. I'm at 9 minutes and 12 or 9 hours and 12 minutes. I hope I don't miss any of these questions. There's so many great comments on here. Thank you guys so much. Hannah F., have you been to Beef Butter Barbecue in Madison? So good. No, I have not. I wonder, do they got some carnivore things there? It's tricky sometimes with barbecue, but it sounds delicious. I have not been there. That's not too far. We're near Madison often. Uh, Jen and I will oftentimes go to the movie theater kind of near Madison to preview some of the movies we're going to play at Montello Theater. So might have to check that one out. Thank you. Super Tune, 63 years old, carnivore, 18 months. Wow, a year and a half. Congratulations. That's awesome. Carnivore for life, brother from another mother. Alex, I hope you're doing well. All right, here we go. Oh, this is a good one. Question: what about showing John Candy movies on 1 year anniversary? That is awesome. Janet H., that, my friend, is one of the best comments so far. I love John Candy movies. Wow, that is a really good one. Great Outdoors. Uh, Uncle Buck. Yeah, I'm gonna check into it, because one thing I was thinking was Tom Hanks, but man, John Candy, that is classic. I love all of his movies. Wish we had more of them. That's a really good one. Thank you. I want to put some more thought into that. Yeah, because we were doing the movie theme like Batman or something, and it's like maybe if we just pick an actor. I was going with Tom Hanks because we did A Man Called Otto, and that was our biggest selling movie of the year. Of course, there's so many good Tom Hanks movies as well. I think a lot of people around here would get a kick out of John Candy. Who doesn't love John Candy? Diana, 61-year-old RN with hypothyroidism, taking control of my health with carnivore. Thank you for sharing your story, and kind heart, Carrie. Thank you so much for that. I really appreciate it. All right, I'm almost to the bottom. Yes, yes, yes. Carol Jenny asks, Carrie, do super chats here money go towards the movie too? Every single penny from those super chats that we get. I think YouTube takes a little bit of that, uh, but every penny that we would get from that goes towards the Carnivore Diet movie. Every penny from every super chat I've ever gotten since starting the Carnivore Diet documentary is going towards the movie. It really adds up. So thank you. And alternately, you can go to on the bottom of the screen there, GoFundMe.com /F /Carnivore Diet documentary. Or if you Google Carnivore Diet documentary, GoFundMe, it should probably come right up. You could donate right there too. They take like a little tiny bit out of it. People were saying, oh, they take a huge amount. It's just there's a little bit for using GoFundMe, but got to use something. So it's been working out well. And then on the GoFundMe page, oftentimes I'll post updates about the documentary as well. Okay, I got it. Oh, got it. Okay, I am at the bottom. I really hope I didn't miss any of your questions. If I did, I'm really sorry. Yeah, unfortunately, we got to wrap it up now. 2 hours, 24 minutes, 228 people were on here. Yeah, over 300 at one point. This is amazing. Thank you guys so much. I really appreciate everyone. More updates to come on the Carnivore Diet movie. So excited. Tomorrow morning, I'll be right here, 9:30 with Dr. Anthony Chafee, asking him the hardest carnivore questions, throwing the hardest carnivore arguments at him. And I'm sure he's going to hit most of them out of the park. So stay tuned for that. Thanks a lot, everyone. Have a good night.